Okay, I think it's 1:50 on my clock here. So welcome everyone to the February edition for Sharks BA practice run. Okay, Materia edition. Okay, now before we get started, I just want to ensure a couple of things. So usually, okay, for those who have attended my runs before, I usually try to get everyone into the VC first. So if you could kindly just tell your party to ask everyone to hop into the VC first lah. So just type into your party chat, can everyone jump into VC? I'll be doing today's session primarily through VC communications. So I do apologize if, let's say, people type out things and I miss it lah, okay, because I will be focusing more on doing callouts and explanations and things like that, okay, and getting the organization done through the VC. So I do apologize if, let's say, I miss out a question asked or someone's trying to get my attention on the chat. Okay, I may not be focused on the chat too much for today's session. Okay, but there will be a couple of people, veterans who typically accompany me on these runs, so they will also try to help me out with answering questions in your individual parties, so you can always ask them as well. Okay, now while we're waiting for everyone to join the VC itself, okay, we'll need to, okay, I'll brief you all on what to expect for today's session. So today is our Materia practice run. Okay, my name is Shak, by the way, for those who don't know me, and I usually run these on Elemental monthly. Okay, and I'm looking to also host these once in a while on Materia, depending on the demand, okay, as well as how much BA runs are being run in Materia. The Materia BA addicts have been doing a great job in running BA regularly, almost every week, to be fair. So they're actually handling most of the BA runs. Most of you guys are actually free to join the BA addicts runs. Okay, they're open to public. Generally there's no sign-ups unless stated otherwise. It's a free for all thing. Okay, anyone can just hop in and join. These runs, on the other hand, okay, the ones that I'm hosting today, okay, they are more meant for players to hop in for the first time. Okay, let's say you are new, just reached elemental level 60, and you want to do BA, but you're hesitant to just jump in, head first, blind into this content, which is supposedly difficult. Okay, to be very fair and to be very honest, BA is something that we discourage people from jumping into blindly. Okay, in other words, we want people to do some research, okay, do some reading, read the guides, get some preparation done prior to actually joining BA. Okay, the reason for this is actually quite straightforward or quite simple. The content itself is punishing, okay, in the sense that you if you die inside BA, you cannot get rezzed normally. Okay, for normal content like Savages or Ultimates or even Extreme Trials, you find a party, you join, you go in, you fight the boss, you mess up, you die, everyone wipes, press the reset button and try again. So there's very little penalty for failing in regular content. In BA, on the other hand, it's the opposite. The content is not difficult, but dying or failing imposes a harsher than usual penalty. Okay, if you die in BA, you cannot get res normally. So in other words, there may be circumstances or situations where if you're dead and no one can res you, can arise you, okay, can get you back up, you have to quit, you have to leave, and you usually D-level as well. Okay, if you leave BA release death, you will get kicked out of the instance and get back into Hydatos, and you will D-level. So there's a penalty for failing. Now, having said this, the content itself is not difficult. Okay, the content itself is not tough. It's actually slightly harder than a 24-man alliance raid content. So it's not difficult per se. Okay, but because of the strict penalties involved, okay, people tend to get a bit nervous about jumping headlong into it. So these practice runs are meant for to ease new players into BA itself, okay, which is why I'm seeing quite a large turnout today, which is very encouraging. Okay, we try to get more people to join us on these BA runs to increase the player pool for BA lah. Okay, then subsequently once you have, okay, hopefully today we clear, okay, but I cannot promise anything. But subsequently once you have seen the entirety of BA from start to finish, you are free to get better prepared, read up a few more guides. If you fail certain mechanics, you feel you can do better, you can go read up a bit more, and then subsequently just go join any of the BA runs, okay, public runs, okay, that our BA addicts on Materia have been hosting regularly. Okay, they generally, there's no rules for entry. Okay, there's no like restrictions. As long as you qualify to do BA, you hop into an instance. They say they're going to go at this time. You join them, form up inside the instance, and then just run with them. So it's open to all. Okay, generally speaking, this is how we prefer our BA content. Okay, it's open to public. Anyone can join. Okay, and we just encourage people to just come in and join. Okay, be prepared for it at least, and then try our best to clear BA itself. Okay, now before I go off on a tangent and ramble for too long, okay, we are just checking on the last few players to actually join. Okay, for those who are in parties or party leads, right? Once again, just help me kindly check off the name list lah. Okay, so whenever I do a practice run, I have this sign up form, and ideally people should sign up and put their names down, assign themselves to a party, and on the day itself we will tick off the names. So this helps me to check who is present, who's not present, whether all the key roles are accounted for, etc, etc. Okay, but do note that we only field 4 parties for BA. So we're only fielding 4 parties. There's actually 6 parties worth of space. So there's actually 48 slots for BA, but we only field 4 times 8. Okay, so for those who cannot math, because all FF14 players can't actually math, it's actually 32 slots taken by the practice run. There's another 16 slots that are spare or unaccounted for. I usually leave those open to anyone. So if let's say you didn't sign up, but you are, you mentioned that you want to join us, or you're a friend of a friend who's in the run, feel free to just hop in. There are actually 16 spare vacant slots that I leave open for anyone to take, whether you're new, whether you're a veteran. Okay, anyone can join. Okay, this also allows me to account for cases where some random person sees us doing BA and they decide, oh, I would like to join, and then they just, without saying anything, just grab a bottle, which is fine. I actually don't mind, to be honest. It's accounted for lah. Okay, so this is why we don't field a full 48. Okay, if we field a full 48, right, and someone else random decides to join us and take a bottle, then one of our players will not get in. So I generally have a slight buffer of 16 spaces for any random tag-alongs to join us. Having said this, what usually happens is that a lot of the BA addicts, okay, the veterans in over here on Materia, will usually take those remaining slots. So what they'll do is, once we zone in, okay, we get into BA, the portals are still up, there's leftover slots, they will just hold back a bit and see if anyone new wants to take them. If no one wants to take them and the time is running out, okay, there's maybe 30 seconds left on the clock before the portals disappear, they might just grab it and just join us anyway, because it's going to be wasted if they don't take it. So this is what the veterans usually do lah. So a lot of appreciation goes out to them for helping out in these runs. They're actually here to tag along, help out with the runs, make sure everything goes smoothly, answer questions, etc. Okay, and to a certain extent help to carry the runs along as well. Okay, now thanks Kelly. Kelly is our assistant for today's run. So she's just mentioned that we are missing only 1 player lah. So most of the parties, we have 4 parties with 7 players each. Okay, my party has 6 because I think 1 player is not here. Okay, do do note that if let's say we try our best to pick up players, like so if you sign up, you indicated interest in coming along, we will try to ping you on the Discord on the day itself. But if we cannot find you, I do apologize upfront, but to a certain extent, right, I don't chase people for these runs because I'm already organizing and hosting and sort of managing a lot of things. So I try to give a courtesy ping, see if they are available. If they didn't change their name on the Discord and we can't find them, I generally won't be pursuing it too much. So I think only Wisp is not here, so that's fine. Now, before we zone in, okay, or some of you already zone in, that's fine. Okay, but generally speaking, for prior to entry of BA, right, there's a couple of things we want to check first. So number one, okay, I know it's already 2 o'clock on my time. Okay, I mean +8, so it's actually 5 p.m. for +11, most of Australians here. Okay, but just do a last minute check of a couple of things. Number one, you should have your gear with you. Now for BA, right, or in fact all of Eureka, the only gear that you can have as a new player is either your Kirin Osode or Vermilion Cloak. Okay, these can be actually purchased from the market board, or you can just buy the cloth and cryptic seals and exchange them with the nostalgic fellow over on the Pier 1. Okay, I'm here on Sephiroth, okay, but wherever you are on Pier 1 Kugane, you can see there's this NPC in a corner near the entry to Eureka. They'll exchange the items for you and give you your body piece. Okay, this body piece is Beast. Okay, it's best in slot for BA. If you have one, fantastic. Okay, it will pay itself out in return over time. Okay, so don't worry too much about gear. The rest of the gear, right, doesn't matter. Okay, unless you have anything that can give you elemental stat, the rest of the gear has no bearing on your stats. Okay, other than the fact that they should be above eye level 300. Okay, they shouldn't be like a level 50 gear. Okay, it should be like a level 80 or 90 gear, doesn't matter. It will sink down to eye level 300. Okay, only elemental stats has any bearing inside Eureka. So, and as a new player, the only elemental stat that you can acquire is your body piece. Okay, other than that, prepare whatever logos actions that you need. Now, this is not unique to BA, is something that you should have encountered in Pyros and Hydatos. So you should have experienced or messed around with using logos actions already. So for this run today, I won't be going too in depth on how to use logos actions, how to use the the Magia board, for example, how to rotate the Magia melt, the Magia thingamajig. Okay, so all this should be it should be reasonably expected that you already know how to use these things. Okay, but certain questions, if you ask, I will try my best to answer, or some of the veteran players will try their best to answer you as well. Okay, now the last thing to check is make sure you have food. Okay, food actually works inside Eureka and BA. Potions, if you want to. Okay, those damage up potions, you can bring those as well, but generally not required. Okay, and just make sure your gear is repaired, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so once you have all these things checked, we will do a simple ready check, and then we will just zone into Hydatos. Okay, generally speaking, we should all get into the same instance. Okay, okay, sorry, I need to turn off the party finder first. We shouldn't have any issues in with instancing. Okay, although I say this, right, it usually jinxes everything afterwards. Okay, just so you all know, SE's instancing is a bit iffy. Sometimes the instance will close, sometimes it will just randomly lock itself, things like this. We have encountered such situations before. Okay, but as a general rule of thumb for Materia, it's usually not so crowded for good or bad. So if we zone into an instance, a Hydatos instance for example, we should generally expect all of us to be in the same instance. Okay, the instance, according to me, is currently sitting around 37 or so players. This is the instance that you should be in. Okay, no need stab. There won't be any stabbing. There won't be any stabbing for today's run. Okay, now while we inside the instance here, earlier on Hafun has told me that Ofni was killed at about 5 + 7, 12 minutes ago. So we have about another 7 to 17 minutes wait before the OVNI reappears lah. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I need to go through before OVNI appears as well. So do bear with me. I'll try to go through this briskly. Now, once you're here inside Hydatos, we try not to zone out again. Okay, if you forget something, just let your party know, and then you can quickly go grab it. But usually we try not to zone in and zone out of the instance once we are already inside, because that means you have to re-party up and so on and so forth. Okay, but if for whatever reason you forgot something, you can quickly zone out, and generally speaking, you should be able to come back in. Okay, unless the instance suddenly locks, then that's too bad. Okay, now, once we're inside, do go over to the Magia Melder logos manipulator thingamajig and, you know, form your logos actions. Now, for most of you, you should have, you will have 3 trays, at least 6 for those who have followed our README and gotten the expansion of tray slots. Okay, so ideally, if you did some, you know, preparation work, you would have 6 trays. But if you are brand new, then you would have 3. Okay, but 3, generally speaking, a bit restrictive, but should be enough. Okay, now, one of those slots, one of the 3 trays should be a blank, empty tray, or contains a single spirit of the remembered. Now, remember what I said earlier on with regards to death in BA. Inside BA, if you die, you cannot get raised normally. So, you know, casters raise, resurrection, Aigiro. Okay, none of these work inside BA. So you cannot use those to raise your get revived. You need to use the spirit of the remembered buff. Now this buff, what it does is that when you use it on it applies a buff on yourself that lasts for 3 hours, which is generally enough for the entire duration of this instance. And it will, upon death, it will consume itself. At a 70% rate, it will raise you again. Okay, 70% on paper. Okay, but honestly speaking, it's like closer to 50-50 lah. Okay, it works sometimes, but when it's really critical, when you need it to work, it generally doesn't work. Okay, just Murphy's Law. Okay, so this Spirit of the Remembered is your safeguard for new players to ensure that you will get rezzed later on. Okay, as we go through BA, ensure you have a healthy supply of this Spirit of the Remembered. Now, every time you die, it will be consumed. Even if it doesn't work, it will still be consumed. So, every death that occurs, you will need to use a new one. Okay, the moment, if it procs, okay, if it works, you get up instantly. Okay, there's no prompt. You immediately get up again, and you it will be consumed, and you will need to use a new one. Hence, the need to have multiple spirit trays. Okay, because if you die and you don't have a spirit, you're gonna stay dead. Now, other than the Spirit of the Remembered, there are 2 other ways for resurrection in BA. The first of which is a healer will sacrifice LU. Okay, now sacrifice L is an action that will kill the healer but raise the dead player. So the healers will have a limited number of this action. Okay, mainly it's restricted by the number of Spirit of the Remembered they have. Okay, now note that sacrifice will kill the healer, so the total number of dead players remains the same. However, the healer has a Spirit of the Remembered buff. If it procs, the healer will get back up again. This is how healers raise dead players within BA. Okay, they literally kill themselves, rely on their buff or spirit proc to trigger, and then they get back up and use a new spirit. Okay, they will have to discard that tray and crack open a new Spirit of the Remembered. So over time, right, the most number of reses a single healer can bring, right, is somewhere between 6 to 7. Okay, 7 is because you have 1 buff on you and then 6 other trays. Okay, so this is for healer raising. So we will, okay, obviously we try to minimize death lah, but I do understand new players, okay, practice run, death is inevitable. Okay, there will be some occurrences of players dying, that's fine. Okay, but try your best to stay alive. The healers are not mandated to raise dead players. Okay, now this is a very touchy topic. Healers, generally speaking, spend gil to form these sacrifice trays. They are expensive AF. Okay, they are expensive. So please show some gratitude to the healers. don't take it for granted. Now for learning runs, I'm actually very it's a very encouraging thing to see, but a lot of the healers in the learning runs will willingly sacrifice dead players, new players, just to carry them through the run, to see the entire run. Okay, I cannot guarantee clears, and once again, I'll explain why later on. There's no guarantees for clears for BA, simply because a single mechanic going wrong or not being handled can literally snowball and wipe the entire alliance. But we can at least guarantee that everyone here, we will try our best to carry everyone to the last boss of the raid and see most of the mechanics, so that you will have a first-hand experience of how BA is like. If we don't clear, say la vie, we don't clear, but you have at least experienced the content and you are now better prepared to go at it in subsequent park runs. Okay, so this is with regards to rezzing in BA. Okay, now the third minor mention is healer LB3. Okay, healer LB3 raises everyone, but it hardly happens. We don't have time, or we don't get the opportunity to build healer LB3 inside BA nowadays lah. So I don't regard it as a reliable source of resurrection, okay, of raising players. Okay, now other things to note, okay, before the OVNI appears. Okay, if you don't have Eureka potions, okay, Eureka potions are these items I'm going to shout out or link. Okay, these are Eureka potions. Okay, if you don't have these, buy them from the NPC. Okay, there's an NPC over here inside the camp who is selling these. They are spammable. They are relatively cheap, I think about 300 gil each. They last for 45 seconds and apply a regen on you. Okay, they last for 40 seconds. Cooldown is 45 seconds. So you can almost infinitely chug them down. So, you use them 45 seconds later, you use another one. It lasts for 40 seconds. So you have 5 seconds of no regen. Just, spam them liberally whenever we're fighting a boss. Okay, Eureka potions are good for helping to keep you alive during situations where there's a lot of damage incoming. Okay, buy them from the Expedition Provisioner. Okay, that Expedition Provisioner is right here. Okay, just in case you're not unaware. Okay, but look around the camp, there should be one NPC there. He sells Eureka potions. Buy a healthy number, maybe like 20 or 30 or so. Okay, you can use them in Eureka, you can use them in BA as well. Okay, now, next. Okay, so for those players, right? Okay, now one thing I want to warn you guys. So some important tips lah. Okay, I think there's Goldamas up. You all can go over to the NM over there. Yeah, just go over. Just go over. Just while you're listening to me, just go over and go kill the NM. Now, other than okay, the preparation, do note that for those of you, okay, I did say to have a Spirit of the Remembered. I did say that you should have it on one of your trays, but I noticed that some of you are starting to use it. Please be careful with popping the Spirit of the Remembered early, because if you use it now and then later we fight, you fight Godama or you fight OVNI later on and you die, you will lose that spirit. So usually I tell people to withhold on using the Spirit of the Remembered until we're actually inside BA. However, if you have used it already, that's fine. Just try to stay alive, or worst case scenario, you die, it is consumed, come back to the main camp and create a new one. Okay, they are relatively cheap. Okay, they're relatively cheap if you are using them in the correct combination. Okay, the correct combination is actually the Martialist Split Barrier Aether Weaver combo. It's purely conceptuals, which are easily farmable. Okay, if you're using them with the protective version, okay, the expensive logogram protectives, you're doing it wrong. if it's a single spirit, you should be using the three piece combination, okay, because it's cheaper. Okay, of course, if you want to combine it with something else, it becomes a bit more tricky. In which case you might need to use the protective version. Okay, all the healers have to suffer this lah. That's why I say it's so expensive.
we can't do sack and remember it in the same tray. It's 30%. It's so much waste of money.
Yeah, it costs more. It costs more to at a 30% rate, even if you're using cheaper materials, because you're using one specific magic burst in the sacrifice tray, which is expensive. So generally healers use the slightly more expensive or a lot more expensive combination, but has better success chance lah. Okay, but this is like math things, like combining actions stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's cheaper for me to do it that way. I've got really bad RNG.
Yep. Okay, now some other things to cover. Okay, hopefully I go through all these before OVNI appears. Now, okay, For our runs, if there's any empty slots in your party, okay, party leaders, you all should know this. Actually, I think most of the party leaders are the veterans anyway, but if there's any other parties who want to join us in the run, just feel free to pick up people along the way. But do note that the finalized roster of players going to BA is not confirmed until we're actually inside BA. Okay, now the reason for this, and which leads me into how to enter BA. Now BA has two main hurdles. One of which is actually clearing the fight itself, clearing Ozma. Okay, so that's one of the main hurdles. Now the other main hurdle is actually getting into BA. Now thankfully for Materia, y'all don't have too much issues, although the instance now has about 59 people. Yeah. Okay, but entry into BA, right, is a free for all war. It's literally what we call portal war. And what happens is that later on, Ovni will spawn. Okay, there'll be Umbral Turbulence weather. Ovni will spawn. Okay, every time I say Ovni will spawn, Ovni tends to spawn. Okay, but Ovni will spawn, and there'll be the weather will change. Everyone will be aware that Ovni is up. We will all head over to where Ovni is. I will usually call a start time so that we can synchronize everyone to start at the same time, and we will just fight Ovni normally. Now, there's 3 criteria you need to check off to enter into BA. I will quickly run through this now, and you need to check these off. Now, number 1, you must be elemental level 60 and have finished the very last quest in the Hydatos instance. You will know this because your map, okay, your mini map, will have no more icons, quest icons on the map itself, and you have seen Kryl warn you about the Baldesion arsenal. There'll be a TOS, TOS, terms of service. You need to sign this, tick this, saying that you are now eligible for BA. Okay, they'll tell you that BA is relatively difficult content. You need tenacity, luck, strength, determination, etc., to actually clear it, and a bunch of other things as well. Okay, so you would have seen it, ticked it, and accepted it. You must have unlocked the BA. So ensure that you have done this. Okay, I've had a couple of runs in the past where people didn't actually unlock BA, and then they sign up, they join, and then later on they realize, why can't I go in? Why can't I get in? And then I tell them again, okay, are you level 60? Yes. Do you do the fate? Do you unlock BA? And then I have a quest left. I didn't unlock it. Oops. It's too late then. Okay, so do ensure that you have unlocked the quest, done the final quest, and everything, to ensure that you are eligible for entering to BA. Okay, so this number 1. Okay, number 2, you need to get goal contribution for the fate. So later on, once Ovni is up, we will participate in the Ovni fate. Do remember to be in a party, and you don't have to go ham on it. You don't have to deal maximum damage. Generally speaking, if you're in a party of 4 to 8, okay, anywhere within this number, you just need to contribute a little bit. If you have a couple of tanks, the tanks will generally be on tank stance and generate as much enmity. It functions just like a normal fate in Eorzea. Okay, you just need to get gold credit for the fate. Conversely, if you are solo, it becomes very difficult to get gold. So we usually recommend people to party up. Okay, usually once the fate pops up, you will see people shouting, looking for party, please add me, etc., etc. Just grab everyone you can, just form a party, and just tackle the fate as a group. It makes it easier for everyone to achieve that goal contribution rating. Subsequently, once the fate is done, you can just disband the party. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay, but you need to get goal for the fate itself. Okay, so that's number 2. Now, the third thing is relatively unknown but important. During the fate itself, when you're fighting Ovni, do not leave the fate zone as Ovni dies. Okay, when Ovni is at 0 health, he's dying. At that point of time, there's a checkpoint. Anybody outside of the fate area and further out, too far away from the fate zone, will not be able to enter BA. Okay, now this, it seems a bit strange, but this is a countermeasure SE implemented in the early days. Okay, my age is showing. When people were actually fighting Ovni, and then what happens is that when Ovni is down to 10-15%, a lot of players will start leaving to scramble off to find a portal to enter to BA, leaving only a handful of players behind to finish off the Ovni and disadvantaging them. So those players who stay behind to help kill the OVNI lose out because they don't get a head start. And that sucks for them. But they are finishing off the fate for us. And then if everyone left, right, everyone leaves and OVNI resets, everyone's screwed. So SE countermeasure is if you leave early, you don't get to join. This was the countermeasure, which is pretty effective to be honest. So now everyone needs to stay and contribute until OVNI is dead. Then you can run off. Okay, so you know, no leaving early, no running off early. If you run off early, you will not get to go into BA. So take note about this. Okay, don't accidentally, again, it has happened before. I've accidentally, stupidly left the fate zone to try to hasten someone to join, and then I forgot to participate. Okay, I forgot to go back into the zone, the area itself. So just take note of this lah. Okay, so these are the 3 criteria you need to ensure. Now, once you have met these 3 criteria, the moment OVNI is dead, you will get a buff. Okay, it's called Ethereally Primed. It's a blue color buff. Starts at 10 minutes, immediately taking down to 9. And you will need to run off, okay, mount up, run off into across the map, spread out across the map. There will be portals that appear in the Hydatos zone. Okay, I will post an image of this map. Okay, but you can generally find this anywhere lah. Okay, it's not restrictive or anything. Okay, I'm gonna post it in the Eureka Lounge channel. You can take a look at it. Okay, this map shows you the positions of all 48 portals that will spawn after a while. Okay, now the portals will not appear immediately. Do take note. Again, another SE countermeasure. Portals don't appear instantly. What happens is okay, so what happens is that the portals will appear 4 minutes after OVNI dies. So your buff is 10 minutes, taking down to 9 instantly. The moment the timer on your buff is down to 6 minutes, blue portals will appear. 48 blue portals will appear in the 48 spots. Now, generally speaking, what we do is that we will run off, find a portal spot, and camp that portal spot. Okay, we'll sit on it. Now, unofficial etiquette dictates that if you are there first and someone else comes along, they should move on and find their own portal, find another spot. Okay, and it works both ways. So if you encounter a portal spot and there's someone already there, just kindly move on and find another portal spot. So because of this, you need to try to identify which portal spots you are going to make a beeline to. Okay, usually 1 or 2 of them. Okay, don't just pick one. If you pick one, then someone's there already, then you need to open go back to Discord, check the map again, and then that wastes valuable time. Okay, so just pick 1 or 2 spots relatively near to each other and just make a beeline towards them and camp the portals later on. Okay, generally speaking, we shouldn't have too many issues with portal wars, but again, because the instance is about 60 people and there are only 48 portals, okay, we will try our best to get everyone who needs to join the learning run to get in. So what usually happens is that some of the veterans or the BA addicts, as I so fondly call them, will camp a portal, but they may not take it immediately. So if any new player needs a portal later on, okay, OVNI is coming up now.
I'm coming. Yeah. I'm coming.
So if any new player needs a portal, what they'll do is they'll just like say out, okay, no, I'm sitting on a spot. This is like 4-1. Any new player needs it, no, please yell out, and first person who yells out, they will give it to you. Something along those lines. So that's generally what happens. I can't write Pilan. Oh, okay. Okay, now okay, next thing. So just later, just go to any portal and then just sit on it, just camp on it. Okay, hopefully everyone who's new here can find an empty portal spot and then just wait there. Now, after the blue portals appear, very important, don't touch the blue portals. Kelly, can you just set a pull time for this? Maybe like give me 8 set it to 8 minutes. Okay, now for portals, blue portals will appear. Do not touch the blue portals. Very important. Now, if you have a stabilizer, or what we call an etheric stabilizer, steps for short, if you have one in your inventory and you touch a blue portal, it will immediately be consumed and you will enter BA. There will be no prompt. This is a common mistake a lot of people make. There is no prompt for the stabilizer usage. You will immediately use it upon touching it. So be very careful about touching blue portals. Do not stab. Now, stabbing is not advised here. Okay, number one, because this is a practice run, so we want to try to give new players the chance to go in. We try to get new players in. Okay, and number two is that now the reason why I don't allow steps for practice run is because when you step a portal, now 3 minutes after blue portals appear. Okay, now if someone steps a blue portal, that blue portal will disappear. And of the 48 portals, right, let's say if 3 people step, 45 portals remain. 3 minutes later, all the blue portals will disappear and 45 red portals will appear and reshuffle their positions. In other words, in the 48 available spots, 3 of those spots will be missing a red portal, and it will be 3 random spots, not the ones where the blue portals were taken. Hence, it sabotages another player's chances of entry when players step. Okay, so we usually discourage stabbing if it is a scheduled run. Okay, if it's an organized run, we are bringing like 40, 50 players to this run. You are literally sabotaging someone else in our own run, so we don't use steps for this. Yep, go ahead. Any questions, just ask.
Yep.
Okay, now I will. Yeah, so again, the etiquette. Okay, so Fana asks, any etiquette in terms of portals? Generally speaking, is unspoken, but if like you're there first, it's yours. Someone else comes along and they see that you are there, they shouldn't try to contest you for the portal. However, if you are in an instance with, let's say, 100 people, okay, although in Materia generally this doesn't happen as often, but theoretically speaking, if there's 100 people in the instance, then all the rules goes out the window, because if I can only play at this time and I have a step and I want to do BA and there's no available portals, I'm gonna step because I can only play now. If I don't step now and I miss my chance, I can't play anymore. So there will be players in that situation, and we kind of understand, it's like they are more desperate for the portal, they are more desperate to do BA, they put in the effort to farm the steps. Okay, steps are not free, by the way. It takes time and effort to grind for them. You can't just buy them off the market board. You need to actually grind and collect crystals for them, so it takes some time. Okay, just fall back a bit, don't.
There's a lot of people that's like just gone in.
It's okay lah, guys. You're not supposed to hit it until the timer. Okay, actually the time is supposed to be 0600. So maybe y'all might want to just chill for a bit. Yeah.
To be fair, Callie said ET 600.
Oh, you
Hey, so we've got a party member as quiet as our bunnies. They're not here.
Yeah. Okay.
They're literally not here. They're literally not here. No, reset it.
Yeah, can y'all reset it? Yeah.
Our bunny person is all the way southwest.
Yeah. Can y'all just reset it, Kelly? You have one job.
Freaking time.
Okay, so just reset, please. This is not the time. Actually, it should be 0600 lah. The pool time should be 0600 on the.
I did do that. I did do that.
Yeah.
The next one under that is literally 0600. So I didn't do it wrong.
Yeah, the reason is a lot of pool time is outside of BA are read as ET.
Yeah.
Not as fate timer.
Yeah. So there's some confusion. It should be 0600, not ET.
I did ET.
Yeah, not ET.
Yeah, I did
so
ET.
not ET 6 is actually supposed to be 6 minutes on the fate timer remaining. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just some confusion there.
Well,
it's okay. Okay, just be careful about that. Yeah, just be careful about that. Okay.
The fuck.
Yeah, so just let it reset. Just chill with you guys. There's no rush because again it's just us, and if you're gonna start, I will just sound it off as well. So we let's just wait another 3 more minutes before we before we actually pull for real.
Whoa.
Okay, now do note that fighting Ofni. Okay, so I've covered most of the entry processes, things to prepare. If you die in the Ofni fight, right, it's fine. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. Just quickly, just someone give you a res and then continue as per normal. It's perfectly fine. It won't affect your chances at all. Okay, unless you DC. If you DC and then Ofni dies, then that's too bad. Try not to DC. Okay, but can be helped. Sharks chewing on cables and all that stuff.
Yep, blame you.
No, blame you. Okay, now, okay, other than that, right, let me see. Okay, Ofni, right, needs a Dispeller. So if anyone has Dispel, right,
Okay. We were to go in.
yeah, okay. that person will help to dispel it later. Now, do note later on, right,
Next week.
for BA, right, we will have a support fate lah. So for those of you who either didn't manage to get in for some reason or other, okay, there will be another chance to enter BA later on in the support fate. Okay, I'll explain a bit more about the support fate slightly later on. Okay, when we actually get there. Okay, once again, a lot of things to cover, and I tend to do a lot of exposition, so do bear with me. Okay, I know a lot of people complain that I ramble a lot lah, so I apologize for that. I'll try to keep things short lah, but there's a lot of information to cover, and
Yeah, we can still kill in time. We kill it like a minute.
yeah, you will
It'll
die
be done.
really quickly with everyone here. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about the killing of the Omni. Yeah, you just literally blitz down within about 2 minutes or so, and then we did. Yeah, the damage was was a bit low because we are just holding back. I said hold back, then everyone just chilled, so we haven't actually gone ham on it. Okay, but we'll wait another 1 minute, and then we will get started. Don't need to worry. You don't have to, like, unload your best DPS or anything like that. Just hit it a little bit, and then you will be fine. Okay, you can't bring happy bunnies into BA,
You
by
can't
the
tell
way.
me what to do.
But you can't tell the bunny to do that either. The bunny tells you the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't pay the bunny sub, but we can bring the bunny to Offney.
Yeah, they'll die.
Oh, you mean kill the bunny at Omni? I
Ah, no,
approve.
One thing, I went all the way
Yeah.
to the elemental to give bunny buff, and then, so I came back.
No, I approve. I see what you're doing there. Secretly, I approve. Yes. Those happy bunnies aren't really happy bunnies. They're actually evil bunnies.
They send me all the way to the Narnia, and I find a bronze chest.
Yeah, that happens to everyone.
If the chest had a protective, it is very worth it.
I guess
Usually,
that's true.
you can get
It's curative.
you can get protects in bronze boxes here. That's why they're really good.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's why that's why they're 50k each now.
Alright.
Yeah.
It is pool time. We shall begin. Okay, let's just get started. Just hit it a bit. Just generate enmity. So for like Offni is just a regular fate. You can just beat it up a bit. No need to go ham. If you die, just get res. Now if you get the lightning marker, you should just ideally pull it into away from everyone. Yeah. No PvP here. No lah, but it's okay lah. Worst case, you just die and then we'll res you. No worries. But again, if you have a spirit buff up, you just be careful. Try not to die, because you will lose the spirit and you need to make a new one later on. Okay, and after this, the moment Offni is dead, you just mount up. Okay, quick, just gentle warning. I'll be taking the portal directly to the left of Offni. Someone's
Gun
got-
has it.
Yeah.
Gun has it.
Nice, he's moved far away. So later I'll be taking the portal directly to the left of Offni, so just be careful about it lah. I don't camp that portal directly to the left of Offni, because I will generally be sitting on it lah. And then as the organizer, I try to ensure that I get in. It'll be a bit strange if I don't get in, then it's like, okay, Kelly, take over, thanks, good luck.
Yeah, no thank you. You can take my portal, so I don't have to do it. I can go back to Hogwarts.
No. Kelly's been playing wizarding recently.
Hogwarts,
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah.
And just ignoring all the FF responsibilities.
I don't have any responsibilities.
That's why lah.
That's why I have you.
No, that's why you like mess up all the time. Huh.
I meant to say FT, but I did ET.
It's fine. Okay, now by now everyone should have mounted up and just run off to any available portal. Some of the regulars will, I think, like Kelly has a favorite portal, so if you see her there, you just
Yeah.
slap her and then find another portal. lah.
No.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, then BVD's pro tip, probably number 17 or something. Once you're at a portal spot and you're the first one there, you mount up on the biggest, brightest, most shiniest mount, and then you just assert dominance on that spot, so that if people see you there, they'll understand that, oh okay, this is I'm not supposed to be here, and then they'll move away lah. No lah, okay, basically you mount up on a big mount so that people can see you from a distance, so that they know that, oh, that spot's taken. I will find another portal.
I have Cerberus, which will bite your head off. Wow.
Which? Okay, let's not go there.
Hehehehe.
Okay, so while we're waiting, okay, good luck. Everyone, just try to find a available spot. If there's any new players who, for some reason, you're running around and you can't find any portal spot, just wait a bit and see if any of the veterans have found an empty spot, and they may just shout it out lah. But do note, one player only, so cannot like everybody go there. So only one person can take one portal.
Yeah, so if you actually see an empty portal spot from the map, or the veterans, let us know, because there's like a couple of people in my party that's actually running around and lost because they can't find one.
Do note the portals don't appear until another minute or so lah, so you won't be able to see them, but just hang around the
Just
spot.
look at the map. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, and general warning once again, once the blue portals appear, do not touch the blue portals. Just loiter around the blue portals and camp around it. Don't actually touch the blue portals. Just leave it alone. Okay, if you accidentally touch it, if you have a step, you're gonna accidentally enter and consume the step, thereby wasting it. Okay, so blue portals have appeared. Now, another pro tip for this period of time, right, is if you can leave your mini-map open. Okay, the mini-map actually shows you where all the portals are on the map. So you can see, there's like 48 of them now. And later when they turn red, you will also see where the portals are. So, if you can't get a portal, you leave the map open. When they turn red, a lot of them will start disappearing as people take them. Make a beeline to the nearest red portal for you. Okay, so just leave the minimap open during this period of time. Okay, this is what we call BA Portal Wars. It is generally half the battle. Okay, the hardest part of doing BA
is getting
into BA. Yeah, it's getting into BA.
Don't click the portal. Like, if you click on the portal, you will use any stabs if you have one, and it will use one, and you go in automatically. So don't click on it if you have a stab.
Okay, yes. I forgot, just now some people asked me a question. Okay, now I need to announce this for this run, but I will be recording this run for training purposes. Okay, like those phone calls you get, that we will be recording this run for training and review purposes. Yeah. So just take note that I'll be recording this run, so kindly refrain from cussing and saying any personal or private details, and any dissatisfaction, please send it to our PR department, HR department later on. Okay, they will handle all. No lah, okay lah. We don't have any, cause I don't pay anyone. And Tomatoes will work, so unfortunate lah. Tomato, I guess you have a new job now.
What?
Okay, but yeah, I'll be recording this run for future review, and just as a contingency lah, because we have a training video on our Discord, but that one's not very well done because it was recorded, and I wasn't aware that it was recorded, so it was like all over the place.
He's making really bad jokes and stuff, and he doesn't want any recorded evidence of it.
I'm still making bad jokes, so doesn't make much difference. But I mean, yeah, it's just nicer that I'm aware that it's being recorded, so that I won't like ramble on. I'll try to keep things brief.
Man's already rambling.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the problem, but it's okay, it's okay. I'll put timestamps on this video later on, so that it'll be easier for people in the future to reference it. Okay, now 1 minute or less before the portals turn red, so just get ready to click on the red portals. Do note that the red portals will appear in the nearby vicinity. It won't be on the exact same spot where the blue portal is. Please be very careful. Just keep your cameras zoomed out. When the blue portal disappear, there'll be a red portal nearby. Okay, red portals are up. Run over to it, click on it, get into BA. Okay, and congrats on clearing the first half of BA Portal Wars.
Pretty savage.
Yeah, Portal War Savage.
Yep.
Okay, now, okay, for those of you still running around outside, just quickly try and find a nearby raid portal. If you need to, use the shout chat, or yeah, just use shout chat and then ask for free portals, or just make a beeline to the nearest one. Okay?
Open your map. There's still plenty.
Yep.
Yeah.
So once again, thanks goes out to all the veterans who are just like here but not taking the portals yet. Okay, they'll generally wait for all the new players to get in first, and then if there are leftover portals, they'll take the remainder. Okay, but they are just helping out basically. Okay, so thanks very much, guys. Okay, now for those who are already inside BA, okay, a few things to cover here as well. So I'll get to it. Now, first and foremost, the most important thing when you enter is to not fall off this platform that you're on at the start. Okay, for new players, when you come in, there'll be a cutscene. Okay, there's this video. You just watch it, and then at the front there's a logos manipulator and a Magia melder. Spend some time to form trays. Now, the very first thing everyone does inside BA is to crack open that single Spirit of the Remembered, which I told you to make earlier on. Use it. Okay, using it will put the buff onto you, and then switch it out for something else. Because you have access to the Logos Manipulator here at the start, you are able to create a new tray and replace it with, replace the consumed Spirit of the Remembered. Okay, this allows you to carry an extra spirit beyond the 6 or 3 that you normally can. Okay, so just use that first spirit. The first one is generally free because, again, a single spirit is just Blade Bearer, Martialist, Aether Weaver, which are all conceptuals, very, very cheap. There's a 100% chance it works, so you're not going to waste any. Just use it, form it, use it, crack it open, apply it, and then replace it with something else. Okay, you can even replace it with another spare spirit to carry with you. Now, do note that once we get started for this run, we will not be able to come back to these devices. Okay, you cannot come back to the Logos Manipulator, we cannot come back to the Magia Melder. So whatever you need to create it now, here at the start. Okay, once we get started, we cannot come back here. Okay, so do take note of this.
Can you pass me lead?
Okay, yes. Okay, now, once we're inside here as well, thanks Kelly for reminding me. Okay, once you're here, okay, form your logos actions. If you have any spare spaces in your party, for party leaders, okay, party leaders, just pick up anybody. So anyone else, just grab any players. Okay, I think Celestrat is in a 3-man party, so maybe Celestrat's party, you all just disband, and what we normally do is we either yell or shout it out. Okay, usually we use yell here because it's only relevant for the players inside BA. But you yell out that you are looking for a party, and anybody who has spare spaces, like, just grab these stragglers. Okay, grab all the freelancers who join us for the runs. They are here to help out. Just pick them up. If you need a specific, like you need healers or you need DPS, just grab those specific roles. You can actually do this by looking into your into the party members. Okay, the social tab. Okay, open up the social tab, Adventurer list, and then you can see all the players. If you sort by exploring dungeons, which is the purple sorts icon at the top, you can see who is actually inside here, inside BA itself, and you can also see who has no party, and then you can just grab those people. Okay, we just carry everyone along with us in the run, so that everyone has a healer in their party. Can just help to work together to clear BA lah. Okay, there's really no reason to leave one person by themselves. Okay, because generally speaking, that dooms them to death, and then they are not contributing to the fight afterwards. Okay, so just grab anyone who don't have parties. Now, the other thing to mention here is that at the start, okay, now, the Eureka timer, Forbidden Land, Eureka Hydatos, below it, there's this Conquer the Baldesion Arsenal timer. It's currently stated listing 19 minutes and 10 seconds. This is our BA timer, and we need to fight this timer as we progress through BA. Now, every so often when we hit a checkpoint, okay, after the first boss is the first checkpoint, it will time extension, like those racing games, Daytona, etc. You cross the checkpoint, there's a time extension, it will extend the time, but we need to progress at a steady pace to to beat the timing. So I will try to keep things short and sweet, although I've already failed in doing so. But I'll try my best to continue to expedite explanations lah. Okay, now next thing to note is at the start you will notice that there's a left and right side. Okay, now I'll try to avoid using east, west, left, right because it's very confusing. When you start looking at the Logos manipulator and Mega Melder, you're actually facing south. So the right side is actually the west side. The east side is actually the sorry, now I'm confused. Okay, so anyway, just to simplify, right, I just call it the Mega Melder side, which is the Owain side, and the Logos manipulator side, which is the art side. Now, the first pair of bosses we'll be fighting, right, is the twins, and they need to actually be downed at approximately the same pace. Now, what happens is that the twins have a unique mechanic where if one of the twins have any health remaining, the other twin doesn't die. So they both need to be sort of killed at approximately the same speed. Okay, if one of the sides kill it really fast, it just doesn't die, it just stays alive until the other side is done with their boss. So we want to try to balance the offensive power on both the sides. Now, to this extent, what we do is that we usually yell out, something like what you have seen the party leaders yelling out. Okay, so as an example, Kelly's party, my party, Art MT 1, 3, 4. Okay, which means that my party has 1 tank, 3 healers, 4 DPS. We are going on the Art side. And what happens is that we try to organize it so that it has either an even split. If there's 6 full parties, it'll be like 3-3. Okay, 3 parties on Art, 3 parties on Owain. Okay, or even 2-4 with 2 going to Art and 4 going to Owain. Okay, if it's uneven, like we have 5 parties, then usually it's 2-3. 2 on Art, 3 on Owain. Okay, the reason for this is simply because Owain is slightly tougher, it's slightly tankier, more health, harder to burn down, but Owain is also the easier side. His mechanics are less difficult, which makes perfect sense. I mean, it helps out because we send more people to the easier side to help kill it. Lesser people, but more proficient, goes to the slightly more tougher side. They will kill it faster as well, and they will survive the mechanics as well. Okay, so Art and Owain side. So we'll split into even split. Try to help out by yelling out. And then once Kelly has verified that we have an even split, the parties can do ready checks. Okay, so within your party level, you just do a ready check for your own party, and you assemble on the side you will fall off on. Okay, usually for party leaders, what they do is they put a waymark on the side that is supposed to drop off on. You assemble there, do ready checks, and then once everyone's ready, we will just fall off. Okay, Tatamo, are you going for Art or Owain today?
Yeah, she's going Art.
Okay, nice, because Tatamo will be main tanking for me instead.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so Tatamo is gonna be learning how to do main tank today for most of the fights. So, thanks Tatamo. A round of applause for Tatamo.
I've been bullied into taking down.
So what is DCing?
Yeah, it's fine.
Come on, KS.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's Scotty, well, we can just tank this.
Yeah. doesn't
I
matter.
can. Okay, pretty much everybody's ready.
Okay, so now other than assigning the sides, the other thing that we need to check for is also perception. So we need to make sure that there has at least 2 players with perception, 1 on Art, 1 on Owain. Now, for those of you who, if you notice the sign up sheet, right, there's actually players who are assigned perception. So I think Nashu is on my party, assigned perception, and Typhon has taken up the perception slot. Thank you, Typhon. So these 2 players will be using perception. Now, if there's any players who also want to bring perception, it's fine. We can have more than 2, but we need a minimum of 2 to ensure that both sides have 1 player at least covering each side at the start. Okay. Now, other than that, that's it. Ready check. I don't spend too much time rambling. So once you're ready, as a party level, you fall off onto the correct side. Okay, fall off on your side. Don't try your best not to fall off on the wrong side because you'll be stranded from your party and then you won't get any heals for the fight later on. Okay, if that does happen, please kindly let us know so that we can keep an eye out for you and try to keep you alive. Okay, but
Okay, so I'm
just
pulling this.
follow your party.
Magia auto for people who are in refresh parties.
Okay, now main tanks, once you are down on your side, go ahead, get started. Okay, Tatamo, once you're ready, you just go get started. Now, both sides, you all can get ready, go ahead and get started. Do note, in BA, if you are new, you are not a tank, you are not on defensive measure, and you're ungeared, you do not pull enmity off the tank, you do not pull enmity on any mob, because if the mob hits you, there is a likelihood you can just get one-shotted. In other words, if the mob looks at you, you die. Okay, so please be very careful with like AoEs and randomly targeting shit. Always let the tank establish enmity first before you start to, you know, unload your DPS. Especially healers. Healers have the short end of the stick because any regens go on any player, it pulls enmity off any untagged but aggroed mobs. Let the tank establish enmity first.
Or Magia.
Yep. Magia auto for those people who are very
thank you.
fresh.
Yes.
/ Magia auto.
Okay, now for any other tanks in the run, other than the main tanks, now only the main tank should have stances on, but any other tanks, if you are here, if you see the tank pulling, let's say 3 mobs or 2 mobs of different elements, you can assist by, you know, stepping in, putting into defense, and then, you know, just tanking it for the main tank so that the main tank doesn't have to take all the load. Okay, sub tanks or STs, if you're not doing anything but you're experienced, okay, if you're fresh, maybe just don't risk it. If you're fresh, don't risk it. But you know, you've been here for a few times, you know what's happening. Just help to, you know, catch any stragglers, so that we prevent DPS and healers from dying. Basically, just keep an eye out and babysit them a little bit, and hopefully things will be fine. Okay, now one thing to mention up the stairs here is that there will be 2 mobs at the very top of the stairs. They are the Biblosses. Now the Biblosses will do a nasty frontal and rear cleave attack that you want to be aware of. So do not stand in front and do not stand behind the Biblos. Okay, the Biblos is that Minotaur looking thing or half horse thing. If you stand behind them or in front of them, they will just suddenly cleave and you will get one-shotted as well. Okay, so be very careful. The tanks usually try to point them away from everyone else, but don't stand with the tanks as well. Okay, they will also sometimes do a AoE. Generally speaking, the tanks will stun them if that happens. But then they'll after the stun, they'll turn around to the main tank and cleave the tank. So don't stand with the tank. Okay, Ozzy move away. Ozzy move away. Yeah, you're standing with the tank. He will cleave. He will cleave you immediately after the stun. So be very careful of that.
Are you a WoW player? They always
Apologize.
No worries. just be careful, lah. Just careful. Like if you die here, right? And then people will look at you and shake their heads like, oh my god, this guy just died at the very first mob or something like that, lah. So it's not very nice. So just be very careful about it. Okay, now, once we've arrived at our first pair of bosses, normally what happens is that we will shout out. Okay, so Kelly, please help me yell out, shout out, and then this will announce to the other side. Okay, Tatamon's done it. So Art has arrived at Art side. We are waiting for the Owen side people to signal to us that they have arrived. Okay, now, Owen has arrived as well. Okay, now I'll do a very, very quick rundown of the mechanics. Rotate your Mega to the correct element. Okay, offensive for both sides unless you're the main tank. Okay, but if you're a healer, you may choose to stay on defensive, it's fine. Okay, just stay alive lah. Prioritize staying alive more than anything else. Okay, DPS generally shouldn't be a problem, but try to stay alive. Okay, now, Art and Owen. Now for these 2 fights, not much mechanics to call out, so there will be very minimal callouts. But for Owen, okay, I'll start with Owen first. Owen is really easy. Owen will either be fire or ice element, and there'll be spears around the edge of the arena. If he is fire, you go to an ice spear and basically follow everyone who's going to ice spears as well. If he's ice, you go to fire. That's it. Pretty much that's all you should see. Okay, if for whatever reason you get the triangle Dorito markers above your head, you need to stack with other players with the same marker, except if you have the puddle AoE on your feet, then you pull it away from everyone else. Okay, these are not new mechanics that's only found in BA, it's found in other content as well, so you should be able to recognize them and deal with them accordingly. Okay, now if you see hands, we fucked, so I won't talk about hands. Okay, now next, Art side. For Art, it's slightly more trickier. Art will do spears and he will do a point blank or a donut AoE. The spears will fire off the same AoE after he has done his own. So if he fires off a point blank, shortly after, okay, so point blank, you need to run out, and then the moment the telegraph disappears, you run into the center to avoid the point blank coming out from the spears. Now for Art side, there's also safe spots in between the spears at the outer edges of the arena. If you're unsure, follow the crowd. Okay, follow the crowd, move to the outer edges, especially if you're range. Okay, if he does a donut, you need to run in And then the moment the donut disappears, the telegraph disappears, you need to run to any of the 4 spears to avoid the donut's AoEs firing off from the spears. If you get hit by any of these, you more or less die lah. Okay, get hit by 2 of them, you instantly die. So just be careful. You need to move fast. Okay, you need to move fast. Now for the donut spears, you can run to the outer spear and stay on the outer edge, close to the outer edge of the spear. Okay, there will be safe spots there as well, which have very little movement. These will be the ideal safe spots. Okay, now art will also make the floor glow. When the floor glows, stop moving, and then once the floor stops glowing, you can move to avoid the line AoEs. Okay, if you move, you'll be slowed or heavy. Okay, so this is it for the explanations. Not much else to call out. Okay, we're down to 8 minutes, so we will start at ET 1600. Okay, 1600. Okay, or 4 p.m. on your Zen timer. So it's about 1 minute more. Okay, generally the fight should take about 3 to 4 minutes to down them, so I don't expect it to take too long. Okay, but the more time we save now, the more time snowballs into the future, the further fights in BA. So we try to go faster even though we have ample time for now. Okay, now, rotate your Mega. Okay, check your tank stances. Only the main tank should be the stance on. Use food if you have it. Okay, I always forget this, but use food if you have it. And then limit break at 1558 for LB2. 1559 for LB1, range or caster LB only. Okay, just use it, if not, you'll be wasted. Okay, so now LB2 now. Okay, if you're LB2, fire it off. LB1. Okay, and we'll be starting. Okay, come forward, and just participate. Okay, now, generally speaking, the bosses will open up with red, white, and a tank buster on the main tank. So nothing much to see here. Just heal through for the red, white, and keep the tank alive for the tank buster. Okay, for art side and Owen side, generally speaking, telegraphs I won't call out, just avoid as per normal. Okay, there'll be a donut and a point blank. He demonstrates the mechanics first. Just notice for when the spears appear.
Owen go to an ice spear.
Okay, outside spears are up. Okay, for ranged, you want to stay closer to the outer edge. Okay, ranged, you want to stay closer to the outer edge in between the 2 spears. See where I'm jumping in the corner here. Just follow everyone, they know where the safe spots are. Nice, thank you. Okay, for outside, the next set of spears will be donuts because we saw the point blank earlier on. For donut spears, you just want to hug the spears closer to the outer edge of the spear. Okay, so you just want to go to any spear, stay on the outside edge. Okay, this is out of the AoE obviously. Then just stay near the spear.
Owen go to a fire spear. Fire spear.
Okay, now outside stop moving, outside stop moving, outside stop moving. And then avoid the line AoEs afterwards. Okay, move out of the line AoEs. Nice. And oh my god.
He is gaming.
Yeah, no, just run. Okay, the person with the just run. Camija, just sprint and run.
I get you. It's all good.
Stack Doritos are one. Come inside. A spread. Stack Doritos.
Okay, nice. We skip that mechanic.
Nah.
I can hear the O inside doing the stacking thing. Yeah.
Doritos.
Okay. Any deaths? Now, if there are deaths, now for deaths here, just let the healers deal with it. Okay, don't crowd around the dead players. Let the healers deal with it. Now, up the stairs. Okay, for those who run ahead, there's a trap in the stairs. Don't run ahead of the perceptors. Let the perceptors go first. There will be a trap up in between the first set of stairs and the second one. It's a big glowing circle on the floor. Don't step in it. The big shiny ones explode and kill you instantly. Anyone standing near you also dies. Be very careful about it. Okay, and up in the hallway there is a very large area with mobs. Hug the wall. Look for the treasure coffer. There's a treasure coffer inside here. Okay, thank you. Parties just help to mark the treasure coffer and it is personal. All treasure coffers in BA is personal. You have to open your own treasure coffer to grab your own loot. So just go over and grab it. Now the small shiny circles that you see in this arena here are bleed traps. They don't kill you, but they put a 10-minute, okay, literally 10-minute long debuff, vulnerability, and a 1-minute bleed, which has to be healed through. Cannot be as soon. So just don't step on them. Okay, they are not lethal, but again, try not to step on them. Okay, now one thing to point out, okay, now Tatamo will be doing the main tank stuff. Okay, Hellbore as well, any of the other tanks will help to start to peel the mobs away. For this, just again, observe the basic etiquette in the basic rules in BA. Don't rip enmity of the tanks, you know, don't face pull anything, but help to just DPS down. The mobs here, a few particular mobs to take note of. Sprites, like the one behind, cast aggros on players casting spells near them. So if you're casting a spell and a sprite is near you, you will get aggroed. So just be careful of that. The other thing to note here is the doll mob, okay, that Hellbore was fighting over there, does a very large frontal conal AoE. You don't want to be in front of it. Okay, if he suddenly just dies, heart attack, right, means someone used death on it. Okay, very nice. Okay, now the centaur that Tatamo has pulled needs to be interrupted when he casts Berserk. Unfortunately, Berserk cannot be stunned. Okay, no, the centaur cannot be stunned or silenced. So to interrupt it, we need to use Sleep. Usually a healer will cast Sleep on the centaurs when they are being when they're casting Berserk. Okay, but try not to pre-cast it, because if you cast Sleep on it 3 times, it becomes immune to sleep afterwards, and then we cannot stop it anymore, which is bad. Okay, yeah, caster has sleep also. Just note, Dix also has mentioned casters has sleep, but the caster sleep is an AoE sleep, so be careful you don't hit anything else around it. Okay, but if you do, they'll be sleeping, right? So that's generally fine as well. Okay, but just remember,
until they wake up.
yeah, until they wake up. So the tank needs to be ready to pick it up. Okay, these mobs do AoEs, just avoid them, it's fine. Okay, the other thing to mention here that I didn't mention earlier on is when healers are sacrificing dead players, right? What we try to encourage healers to do is, if let's say you have sacrifice and you want to sacrifice a dead player, we try to yell out that, I am sacrificing this target player who is dead. This is to prevent other healers from opening up their sacrifice plates, and then you cast sacrifice, and then now they're stuck holding a sacrifice with no dead players to use it on, which is unoptimal, okay, suboptimal. Then they wasted a tray, and then they have sacrifice that can't be used. Okay, so just be careful about it, lah. Ken.
Okay.
Okay.
Explanation time.
Okay. Now, one thing to now we are now at Raiden. Okay, so Raiden is a Thunder aspected boss, so rotate your Mega accordingly. Okay, now I will do simple, brief explanations for Raiden. While there will be some players who are running around doing indomitable things now. Okay, now indomitable, just to briefly mention this, some of the tanks you will find will be using up the explosive traps in VA. Okay, this is a slightly advanced strat which I won't go into too much detail for the training or learning runs. Okay, but just understand that tanks will use traps to build up a HP increase buff. So usually sometimes they might require some time. Okay, they will just go ahead and do it. For learning run, you can just ignore it. Okay, now while that's going on, I will start explaining Raiden mechanics. Now Raiden, okay, is there's 2 main mechanics that you need to look out for. Okay, so Raiden is Thunder aspected, rotate your Mega to the correct element, and I will be doing callouts for this fight. Okay, so just listen to callouts, most of the time you'll be fine. Now the 2 main mechanics that you need to look out for Raiden is, number 1, the lateral Zantetsuken, okay, or lateral slash as I call it. What will happen is that Raiden will disappear from the arena. All of us will stack in the middle of the arena and look to either the east or the west. Now Raiden will appear on either east or west. Puddles will, okay, and he will raise his sword to either his left or his right. Shortly after that, or nearly instantaneously afterwards, Puddles will appear below random players. But because we're all stacked together in a tight group in the center, a large number of puddles will appear below all of us. move out of the puddles. Okay, prioritize going out of the puddles first. And move to the side Raiden's sword is not pointing on. Okay, one more time from the start. Raiden disappears. We stack in the middle. We look to either the east or the west. And notice the side Raiden raises his sword on. Puddles appear below everyone. Move out of the puddles and to the safe side, which is the side his sword is not pointing on. Now, shortly after this, okay, the puddles explode. Raiden cleaves across the arena, killing anybody in the center and on the unsafe side. Now, if you get hit by Raiden's sword, it is a one-shot. Nothing can save you. Okay, even tank inbounds and transcendence doesn't save you from Raiden's sword. So please try not to get hit by it. Okay, try not to get hit by the puddles as well. If you get hit by the puddles and you die and you get back up, Raiden cleaves you, you die again because his sword goes through res inbound as well. Okay, so just be careful about that. Okay, so this is the lateral Zantetsuken. Now the second mechanic is cloud to ground. Now cloud to ground, what happens is there'll be a single Exer flare. Now an Exer flare is what we call as a traveling AoE. Okay, it's a circular AoE with an arrow in it. It will appear on one of the 4 edges of the arena. We will look for it. Once it starts traveling, we will stand at where it spawned. That spot will be safe because it has already started moving away from that spot. We will stack there. Raiden casts Bitter Barbs. We pop Sprint. Puddles appear below everyone. Sprint, run around, avoid the puddles, avoid the traveling Exer flares or the traveling AoEs. Some players will be tethered with each other. Break those tethers by running apart from your tethered partner. Split the tethers first. Okay, prioritize tethers because tethers will, after a short amount of time, will apply a heavy dot. Tick once, you're half dead. Tick again, both players die. So split the tethers, prioritize that first, and then run around, avoid all the puddles, avoid all the Exer flares. At the end of it all, come back to Raiden and stand inside Raiden's hitbox. Raiden follows up cloud to ground with Whirling Zantetsuken, which is a donut AoE. The safe spot is inside his hitbox. I will call this out as well. Okay, now, if we have good DPS, generally speaking, we can even skip. We will only probably see cloud to ground at the start, or better yet, skip it entirely. Okay, but these are the two main mechanics that tend to catch people unawares. Okay, so that's it for the Raiden's mechanics. Any questions? Okay, now if no questions, then we will simply ready up. Okay, just come beyond the purple line so that we know that you are here. If you want, can just do ready checks. If there's anyone who is not ready, please sound off to us. Okay, if you for whatever reason you fail to participate in the fight, you won't get any of the rewards from the fight itself. Okay, now our main tank for this fight will be Tatamo. Okay, Tatamo is going to be maintaining everything for today. So thanks, Tatamo.
What?
Yeah.
Don't die.
Yeah, just don't die. Okay, don't die for hit.
Far away from Central
Super
Dog.
pressure. Super pressure.
Okay, and the rest of us tank stance off, food check, and then we will start at ET 2020 lah. Okay, 2020. Okay, so about 1 minute from now. Okay, check your Magia, check your food. Tanks, turn off your stances unless you are the main tank. Tatamo, turn on your stance and be on defensive. And then LB2 at 2018. Okay, LB1 at 2019. Range or caster LB only. Okay, generally we just fire it off because when we pull, the limit break bar drains away. So you may as well open with a free LB. Okay, range and caster only. If there's no one in the party who's using it, just fire it off lah. It doesn't matter. Okay, anyone can just use it. Don't waste it. Okay. Other than that, just get ready up, listen to callouts, try our best, and we should be fine. Okay, if we stay cool, everything will be fine. LB2. LB1. And Tatamo established. Now Tatamo will start off by pulling the boss closer to the edge of the arena for the first mechanic.
Is that no? I don't know.
It's okay, I mean just relative.
Montez.
Yeah,
a-
wait until the electric wheel comes up.
Yeah, it's a red
Yeah, I
white.
don't know where it is.
Okay, and there'll be a tank buster, Shingan's tank
Sneaky
buster.
dicks. Oh.
Where Dix is pretty safe lah. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and Raiden will electrify the edge of the arena shortly after. Okay, just don't step in it. Okay, now for range and caster DPS, you can technically go to maximum range. You can go to maximum range. The first mechanic Raiden does, Ame no Sakahoko, fires a large point blank AoE at where he is. Everyone needs to move back away from Raiden. Okay, now everyone back. Everyone back. Okay, he will jump backwards. Okay, Tatamo, come to us. Where are you going? Okay, and step inside his hitbox. Inside his hitbox. Come into his hitbox, everyone. This is Whirling Zantetsuken. If you are standing outside, you instantly die. Okay, now, shortly after this, Raiden does the lateral Zantetsuken. We'll stack in the middle, look to either the east or west. Raiden's on the east. Notice where his sword raises, avoid the puddles, and run to the safe side. Okay, go to the safe side. Now, you see anyone running on the wrong side, rescue them over. Okay, and just ignore the Javitas. There'll be a couple of people who just like toe the line between life and death. Like, this life is too boring for them, it's too dull and dreary, so they like to live dangerously, you know, so they like toe the line. Just ignore them. You can join them once you've done like 20 BA runs or something. Okay, now spread out lightly.
Mickey.
Sus. Wow.
Sus.
So damn sus.
I'm not saying that in this recorded session. Basically PGE.
I know,
Okay.
right, guys? Yeah. Okay, now this is a light DPS check. We burn the spears. Okay, burn the spears, and then it's just a light DPS check, lah. Okay, if you all never seen this, once he does ultimate Zantetsuken, everyone dies. Okay, but it's a very easy low DPS check. Now, shortly after this, Raiden will do a red white and then a bruise mechanic. Okay, but I think that should be all the mechanics that we'll see today.
Yeah, we're legitimately gonna ban it.
Just kill it, lah. Hey, why someone died? Careful. Okay.
Wow.
Anyone dead? Any deaths? No, I think one death lah, but remembered proc. Okay, so remember, grab the treasure coffer. There's a treasure coffer up here where everyone is crowding around. Remember, grab it. If you can't see it, I'll mark it out for my party. Okay, do note that in BA, right, waymarks and signs work for your party only. So if you see a waymark, that means your party member has placed it, but it's not it's not visible to the other parties, lah. Okay, and next, moving on. Again, Tatamo and friends, okay, all the other tanks, they will collectively try to pull the mobs to this stairwell. Now, in this hallway, there's a lot of mobs. There's a single bleed trap somewhere in this hall. So what we usually do is that the Perceptor will scan near the entryway, and to ensure that there's no traps near the front. Okay, and then the tanks will start to peel the mobs to this stairwell here. Let the tanks establish enmity first. Okay, you notice this happens because the mobs
I'm
are...
not healed.
Huh? What's that?
Someone
That's
healed
okay.
early and I lost like the ones I didn't pull yet.
No, that's fine.
So
That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Help on the stair.
Yeah.
They
Don't
can help.
worry. We will help to, like I mentioned earlier, we will help to offload some of the burden. So don't worry about mobs too much. Just pull whatever you can. Yeah. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just trying to pull the mobs. Ideally, we try to do controlled pulls. Okay, like one at a time. But if let's say, someone face pulls by accident, again, we have a couple of capable tanks who will just step in and hold enmity for the rest of the alliance to just burn them down. Okay, so nothing really special here. Tank and Spang. The single bleed trap in this hallway has been found. It's over there on the right or near the back of the hall. So that's fine. The door needs to be pointed away from the group, like I mentioned earlier on. If not, then you can just use Shark Brand. Damn it, missed. And
Okay, I'm gonna do mine.
the Facebook is coming
yeah,
over. Can
no
someone grab
worries. I got it.
That was mine.
Shark Brand Death Elder.
That was mine.
by the
Oh,
way.
this BBD.
Hey, hello.
it?
I didn't do Shark Brand. Mine's Bunny.
Bunny
Didn't
Brand,
work.
you want
It
to
was fa-
you want to
Yours failed.
compete in
You,
this
you failed where I
competitive
didn't.
market. I see.
Like, I literally.
Maybe they're saying BBD jump scare.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally.
What?
Yeah, like suddenly she's here.
Suddenly BBD. Wow.
Yeah,
BBD
I was
appeared.
fishing. I was
Yeah.
fishing.
I'm gonna start on that.
Okay. Okay. Now there's a trap up ahead, so don't step in it. And then there'll be a treasure coffer at the front as well. So just grab the treasure coffer, and then we'll move on to the hallway. Okay, now here in this hallway, we are going to systematically clear the mobs away. Okay, so again, tank and spank. There'll be a couple of sprites, so be careful of the sprite caster aggro or caster enmity. And then there'll be a couple of undead armors lah. Okay, the walking armored mobs as well. Now in this hall, there are 6 rooms with mobs in them, and there's actually 2 things we're looking for. Okay, one of which is a visible treasure coffer. Now we have already found it, by the way. It's in the earth room, so we have noted that the earth room has the treasure coffer. Okay, we will return to it after we clear this hallway first. The other thing that we're looking for is an invisible teleporter. Now to reveal the teleporter, we will actually need to use perception near it. So what happens is that we will clear the hallway and then clear the treasure room first because the treasure's there, and then we'll systematically clean out the rooms so that perceptors can go in to scan for the teleporter. Now note that, okay, someone just died. Note that some of the rooms have traps in them. Now these rooms, they actually have an element to them. Okay, it's not actually stated anywhere, but they have an element. So if you look in the rooms itself, for example, the middle rooms, there's a purple room, which is the thunder room, and there's a green room, which is the wind room. Okay, earth rooms and fire rooms are at the start, okay, near the entry, and then ice room and water room is near the end. Okay, so we're gonna go to the earth room first because that's where the treasure coffer is. Now, the teleporter could be in any one of the 6 rooms. It could even be in the same room as the treasure coffer. So we'll just scan the earth room first. Now, usually, as a rule of thumb, we do the treasure room first, and then afterwards, if there are, we usually prioritize ice and water. Okay, now, the reason for this is simply because ice and water has 2 traps in the room. Wind and thunder has 1 trap in those rooms, and earth and fire has no traps. Earlier on, I mentioned that sometimes tanks require traps for their indomitable buff. Okay, there's this advanced strat which uses traps, so we actually clear the ice and water rooms in case there are tanks who require those traps. Okay, but in this case, we'll start with earth room first. Yes.
You can pull.
Yeah, Tatamo, just feel free to just provoke. Provoke is the best ranged attack you can use.
Yeah. There's no traps in the first 2 rooms. And then the
okay.
middle rooms
Okay.
only have 1, and then the ones closest to the door have 2. And it's the same way.
Yep.
In the other room. Yeah. So your ice and water won't have 1 in the next set.
No worries. As you get more and more comfortable with doing BA, when I say that, I mean like you just join all the BA runs that the BA addicts are doing. You will more or less know when you can just, just let loose.
I still don't know some things. I've been doing it for years, but I'm derpy, so
Kevin doesn't know almost everything.
everybody else with my experience would know. I just forget stuff.
Yalla, sus. But it's fine. Okay, grab the treasure coffer, and apparently the teleporter's not here, so we're gonna move on to ice and water. If we are lucky, we'll get the 6 room experience and clear all
Oh,
6
no.
rooms. If we
It's
are
gonna get to dinner.
Oh wait, so I don't
That's
need
my-
to clear the room opposite?
No.
No.
We do the room that has the treasure, and then we do the 2 rooms closest to where AV will be because tanks will need the traps to explode.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Did
They
I
just
just
pick
hear
either one.
Shark jinxing the run?
I know, right? Like,
where is
Yeah,
Hafun?
yeah.
Where's Hafun? Where's Trap Phone? Teleporter phone?
we have Dix today. We
Oh,
have Dix.
sad. Dix like not
Aye,
out
yeah.
Hafun.
Oh my god.
Hafun, okay, just inside joke lah, but Hafun used to be able to just tell us where the teleporter is, and he's like right like 90% of the time, so it's become a meme.
Yeah.
Oh, GPS.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not in.
not
Try
in
water.
ice. Okay.
What areas do these do?
These do the cones.
Okay.
Pizza
Yep.
slice.
So staying close will be better. Just pull them out into the
them out.
Yeah, turn them out.
yeah.
So that people can move close to them.
Yeah,
Okay,
melees are coming in.
these dolls do a very gigantic pizza slice. You want to either be really close or really really far. Yeah, like this. So like you're standing in the mid range. You can't get out of it fast enough. So just be very careful of this. And they cannot be stunned, which is extra nasty. Okay. Okay, not inside. Not inside water. No, it is in water. Okay, it's in water. But just be careful. It's really close to the trap. So just like.
Okay.
Okay.
Is Kako gonna do it? Okay, no.
No, y'all be careful. Y'all be careful. Don't.
Stay away. Just, is Dante gonna, wait, are
No,
you?
Dante is not even tank. Not even tank. No.
Yeah, he's a samurai.
Yeah.
Such debate.
Okay, so everyone else, right? Just go
Yes,
into the. Okay, maybe for now. Okay, for now. Maybe y'all move away from the trap first. Move away from the trap first. Let
Yeah.
someone pop the trap. Let a
Let Leah
tank.
do it
Yeah,
now.
let Leah pop the trap.
Yeah.
Dante wants to die.
Dan- Dante.
I
It is
see.
Learning
Okay.
example.
No. Dante knows what they're doing.
Learning
Okay.
example of why not to stand near a trap.
He's fighting the demons. Okay.
Yeah, okay, can. This will make it
Thanks,
safer. Lah.
Leah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I see. I know. Actually, I think you all should have just done it, man. Should just go ahead and kill Dante. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, he would have lived his life purpose.
No,
If he
no.
does that.
Some tanks have just ran in, popped in bomb, but didn't actually step in, see if Dante flinches.
Whoa.
Playing chicken there, I see.
Hey, look, you
I'll
can do
never
it later.
flinch.
You can do it later. We'll see.
Okay lah. Okay, so now we've transitioned into the next zone. Okay, now here again, copy pasta, more mobs, another large hallway, another single bleed trap, more mobs to dispatch, another hallway, another 6 rooms with elements. So the first time I did I was like really confused, like didn't we just do the 6 rooms, and then there's like another set of 6 rooms, and then after we transition, we continue on, there's a third set of 6 rooms, but there's actually only 2 sets lah. So I'll explain this later on.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so again, tank and spang, dispatch the mobs. There's a trap, there's a doll, a couple of frogs. Now in the next set of 6 rooms, right, this is where we need to start doing a bit of organization work. What's gonna happen is that there's gonna
On the
be,
door.
yeah, I saw that. There's gonna be 6 rooms, and what's gonna happen is, we are gonna split up into 6 different parties, or 6 different groups of people, and each group needs to have at least 1 tank or person who can tank, ideally paired with a healer. Okay, and then usually the party will join that tank healer pair, and be assigned a room. Okay, usually we just ask players to start calling out the room. So if you notice the yell and shout chat, you'll see people like, okay, Kelly shouts 1, 3, 5 stone. That means 1 tank, 3 healers, 5 DPS will be going to the stone room. Okay, Bella is 1, 3, 4 fire. So 1 tank, 3 healers, 4 DPS. Actually, I don't know how Kelly's math works. We have like 9
I'm
9
sorry.
players. But yeah,
I just
Uh,
5 instead of 4.
mysterious 9th player.
and someone call for
It's my
time for
pretend
it.
friend, okay?
I see.
It's the happy bunny. He's coming spirit, okay?
So yeah, so Hellball 1 3 2 3 thunder, so 3 tanks, 2 healers, 3 DPS, thunder, okay, water, etc. etc. So the party leaders will usually choose a room, and then they'll just yell or shout it out, and then the organizer, whoever the organizer is, usually there'll be 1 player who steps up and handles it, will ensure that all 6 rooms are accounted for. Okay, and usually we try to get at least 1 tank and healer in each party. Now, for this pre-arranged run, we brought quite a number of players, so we generally have enough tanks and healers. Okay, but certain runs will have certain numbers difficulties lah. So if you can sort of see, like, if you don't even have 6 tanks, you're gonna have problems with handling the rooms in this area. There are certain strategies to circumvent this problem. Okay, but again, learning run, I won't go into detail on this. Okay, we'll just try to do it the normal way first, and then if you are interested in learning more, you can just ask in our Discord, how do we do it if let's say there are not enough tanks or not enough healers, etc., etc. There are other strategies involved as well. Okay, but for now, we just do it normally as much as we can. Okay, and now what happens is that if your party has shouted a room, you go to that room, enter the room and stay in the corner. Now every room has a button in the center with a trap in it. Ensure that the trap has been revealed. Okay, this trap will be intersecting the button in the center of every room. Okay, our perceptors are very efficient. They have already gone ahead and scanned every single room, so thank you very much. Okay, just be mindful of the trap, don't step in it. And then just go to your rooms, go into it, stay in a corner of the room. The tanks, okay, the main tanks for each room will be on defensive magia for that room's element. So for example, if I'm in the fire room, I'll be on 5 defense to fire. Okay, and so on and so forth. If you are wind room, you're on defensive to wind, water, etc., etc. Okay, what happens next is that once all rooms are accounted for, we will set a start time, and one player, okay, usually is the tank, okay, or more to be fair, needs to stand in the button in the center. Okay, not the trap, the button, the shiny button, avoiding the trap. Once all 6 rooms have 1 or more players standing in them, the doors will close. 2 mobs will spawn inside the rooms, and because the doors are closed, you have to dispatch the mobs in your party level. Okay, hence the tank will quickly pick up the mobs, and then the healers will keep the tank alive, DPS will burn the mobs, and whenever possible, try not to pull both mobs at the same time, because that means you're just doing twice as much healing to keep the tank alive. Okay, so we will just let the organizers do their thing. Okay, I think that we insufficient tanks.
No, we're fine with tanks. We just need a couple more DPS to go into silver to help Hellebore. So if I can go, I'm helping them with healing. No, we need just a couple of DPS. Thank you, Galen. Okay, we should be good. Ready to check, please.
Okay, all 6 rooms.
Wait,
Yeah.
Chuck, Kako and I going out for support.
Okay, not enough people. Okay, so at the same time, right? Yeah, as Dix has mentioned, right? What's happening is that outside in the Hydatos instance, there will be this extra fate known as the support fate. Okay, you may have seen it while leveling within Hydatos. Okay, there's this Tristitia fate, which only happens if BA is ongoing. Okay, this support fate needs to be cleared for us inside to progress beyond AV, okay, beyond the next boss. So what happens is that usually we will rely on the players outside, but I think for now, because the instance closed and don't have enough players outside, we are sending some players out to help to deal with the support phase as well. So thanks Dix, Kako, Arismont, Madhu, Etika, and Gan. Okay, they are outside helping us to clear the support. If you need to, you can just reform your own party Okay, and we do ready checks and shout out that your room element, you're ready. Okay, once all 6 rooms are ready, once support is in place and they have dispel, okay, the support desk, okay, we call it support desk, but they're actually the support fate players. They need to have dispel L as well, because the boss there buffs itself to deal lethal damage, so it must be dispelled. Okay, but they know what they're doing, so we'll leave them to it. Okay, once 6 rooms are ready, once dispel is ready, we will set a start time, and all the tanks who are assigned to tank their rooms will step into the button. Kelly, just let me know once everything's okay.
Yeah, we need fire and water to handle.
Alright. Okay, for the tanks, just remember to turn on your stances, rotate your mega to defensive. If you have a defensive plate, you can use it as well, but generally speaking, you can tank it on martialist or even without any wisdoms, but you should try to pull 1 at a time.
Okay, so what is ready? I missed Eric. Oh, Eric saying it. Fire.
Okay, Okay, one thing to note here is that if you are in this room segment, right, we try to use shout lah, because yell won't reach the players on the other end of the hallway. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fire's ready as well.
Yep.
Fire,
Yep.
water.
Okay, we're ready.
All ready,
ET,
yeah.
please.
So we'll start at ET 0330 lah. Okay, so just like 15 seconds more, we can just get started. Okay, so 0330. Okay, now the rest of the party should stay in the corner of the room, because when the mobs appear, they will be facing in a random direction. So you don't want to be face pulling it immediately. Okay, if the tanks, once you step in the button, okay, now go and step in the button. Okay, tanks, go and step in the button. Now the doors will close. Try to avoid instantly pulling something. Stop and see if any of the mobs are targeting your party members first. If they are, grab that one first. Okay, and then just maybe pull it to a
Okay.
safe corner and dispatch
Bunny
them.
bread. Bunny bread.
Hey,
I'm just saying, bunny bread works better than shark bread.
no, sharp brand works also. Don't worry. Yeah, my mob's hiding behind the wall. What the fuck? What the? Okay, hey.
Scroll true. Scroll true.
No, it's hiding behind the wall. It's not. I'm
Uh
not-
huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is that why you're not gonna win?
Sus guys, quickly, let's kill it. Okay. One other thing to mention that I forgot to mention. If you finish kill your mobs and you've exited the room, you run to the front door. You shout first, and you win.
Run, 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 run.
But you are actually supposed to be our room. You're not supposed to be their room. What are you doing, traitor?
Hey, hey. Oh my
Traitor.
gosh. Damn it, we were like right at the end.
Traitor.
We came out first, but we didn't win.
Aiya,
Fire one.
Satch.
Fire one.
Satch.
Oh my god.
Satch.
If you forgot to pick up your chest, it is now in this room.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
if
where
you
we
have a
did Raiden.
treasure, if you have a treasure coffer here, right? Bonus coffer. No, it just means you've forgotten to take it earlier. If you see a treasure coffer here, it means you forgot to take it for the Raiden fight earlier on. Please remember to grab it. It's your second chance. So
Yeah.
what's happening now is we're actually retracing our steps back to the first set of 6 rooms. So initially it looks similar because we are retracing our steps. So just be careful about the traps. Now at the original set of 6 rooms, there'll be new mobs that spawn. So we need to just dispatch the mobs again. Now tanks, again, just watch out for your tank stances. We are back to Tatamo being main tank. So turn off your stances. Let Tatamo tank.
Chicken's at the back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Let the chicken go to the front and get slaughtered first. And then
Sedge.
here in this hallway,
Wait.
there are 3 mobs we need to pay attention to. Okay, now here, what is special? Okay, Tatamo, you just go ahead start pulling. Okay, but there's a frog which you see right in front of us here, and further down the hallway there will be a bibliotaph. Okay, the book monster, and a centaur. Now these 3 mobs, nothing special about them, except that they will wander around in this hallway, which in itself is relatively harmless, except that they can wander into the rooms as well, which means they disappear. We walk past the room, and then they come out from the room behind the alliance and start killing players from the back. So which is quite nasty lah. So usually we try to account for these 3 mobs, making sure that we get all 3 of them, so they don't no nasty surprises like BBD, jump scare earlier on, things like that lah.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, oh,
Yeah.
wow, scared.
Oh my god, it happened again.
Oh my god, guys. These guys are so cheesy. Why are they like this? Aiya.
Because you're cheesy, that's why.
Yeah, okay, so okay, I must just brief up to the break here. So after we killed the bibliotaph, we killed the centaur. Sometimes the tanks might require traps. So just to note, sometimes the tanks will ask for us to help clear some of the rooms. Okay, either ice, water, thunder, or wind for extra or additional traps. And then notice that the support fate, there was a message that they have cleared the support fate. This means that they have done their job, okay, done what they're supposed to do. And during the support fate, there will be a process that's similar to the original of Fate, but instead of 48 portals, there will only be 8 new portals that appear. So what's going to happen is that the support players out there will wait for their blue portals appear, wait for them to turn red, and then they'll enter through red portals. 8 new players will join us in BA here. Okay, now, because it's going to take 10 minutes for that whole process to happen, what we normally do is, at this point of time, we will take a short tea break or bio break, as we call it, bio break. Go to the washroom, go get a refill on your coffee or tea, get a snack, etc., etc., and then be back in about 7 minutes lah. Okay, so now it's 3:35 or X:35 on my clock. So by X:42, okay, please be back here. Okay, be back within 7 minutes or less. Now, do note that for whatever reason, if you need to AFK for slightly longer than 7 minutes, you will get auto-kicked from the instance in 10 minutes. Be mindful that you do not AFK for more than 8 to 9 minutes. Okay, at 10-minute mark, you will get kicked out of the instance. Obviously, you can't come back. Okay, so be mindful of that. Other than that, just go and take a short break. At 42 minutes on the hour, I will resume explanations. Okay, while we're waiting for support to come back in. Okay, now for those who need share and protect, just note that Typhon is helpfully casting it on everyone. If you need it and you're still here and you're not going to go for a break, just come to the back of the group and get your shell and protect from Typhon, who is usually, okay, whoever's casting shell and protect will usually be at the rear. If you need it, just go over to them, gesture to them, get your shell protect, bow, say thank you, and then move away from them so that they know who still needs it. They can identify who needs it. If you all crowd around, they have a difficult time trying to click through all the different players to see who needs shell, who needs protect. Okay, so just get it and then move away, say thank you, and stay at the corner. Okay, so go for a short break. I'll be back in about 6 minutes to resume explanations. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, for those who are back here, I see some questions being asked, so I'll just address them lah. So later on, I will also brief everyone on like what to expect to do from this point onwards. So Zagana asks, should I switch the DPS logo from here? Well, the short answer is yes. Okay, so essentially, I'll be telling everyone to change their logos actions to DPS actions. Okay, but I'll wait for after the break in about 2 minutes and then brief everyone on what they should be expecting from this point onwards. Okay, so just we'll just chill for another 2 minutes and then I will brief everyone on what we will do for boss 3, which is Absolute Virtue, as well as boss 4, which is Ozma. Okay, now it's about 42 already on the clock, so hopefully by now everyone should have come back from their washroom break, refilled their coffee and tea, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna start off with an explanations on what's gonna happen from this point onwards. Now we have about 31 minutes on the clock, so I'll try to keep this brief. Now from this point onwards, we have 3 more encounters remaining. Absolute Virtue, which is boss number 3. Okay, you can see him up ahead here. There will be 2 trash mobs after AV, and then it'll be Ozma, the final boss in the Baldesion arsenal. So essentially we have two boss fights left. Okay, we don't really count the trash pulls in between. Now from this point onwards, the recommended action to take is for DPS players to convert to DPS wisdoms. Okay, so if you are using Plate Bearer, okay, the wisdom of the Plate Bearer, which is a defensive logos action, at this point of time, it is highly recommended for you to swap out to a DPS wisdom. Okay, what are DPS wisdoms? Okay, briefly, I'll quickly mention them. Fiend Hunter for range DPS, Duelist for melee DPS, and Elder for caster DPS. If you don't have any of these 3, Skirmisher also works in a pinch. Okay, slightly less potent, but it's cheaper, easier to create. Okay, and it applies to any DPS class. Okay, so any of the DPS wisdoms work here. We just want to push DPS. Now, some people ask, can I just stay as Plate Bearer? Okay, now the reason why we don't recommend Plate Bearer is simply because for AV and Ozma, if you fail to do the mechanics, you will just die. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have Plate Bearer. If you mess up the mechanics or you don't do it properly, you just outright die. So it doesn't save you. They also have DPS checks and rage timers. So AV is I think about 7 minutes 30 seconds long, and Ozma is 10 minutes 30 seconds long. So there's DPS checks to be met. Hence, we ask for players to push for DPS for these last two bosses. Okay, this is why we ask players to switch to a DPS wisdom. Okay, now however, if you don't have a DPS wisdom, or you didn't prepare one, or for some reason or other you've used it up, and you don't have it on your tray right now, it's fine. Just stay alive as best as you can. Okay, date DPS to no DPS. So just try your best to stay alive, go through the entire fight and experience it. Now, moving on to AV itself. For AV, okay, AV is a wind aspected boss, so rotate your Magia to the correct element. Okay, as I'm explaining, your Magia should recharge. Now, certain other things like Perceptors, Refreshers, okay, and so on, you don't need these actions anymore. So Perceptors, at this point of time, you can also discard your Perception and put on a DPS Wisdom. Okay, we will not be encountering any more traps. Okay, and generally speaking, there will be very, very little Magia rotation within the fight itself. Okay, so we don't need refresh anymore as well. Now, AV itself. Okay, AV is wind aspected, and his main mechanic is that he does turbulent. He does IDOS. Okay, IDOS. What IDOS does is that he places bracelets and a halo above his head. Okay, bracelets on his wrist, a halo above his head. Now, these bracelets / halo will be either a light whitish color or a dark purplish blackish color, and his mechanic will manifest. We will need to go to the opposite color, so it's either light or dark colors. I will call these out respectively during the fight itself. Now, he will either place puddles in the arena, and for the purposes of this explanation, the puddles will be dark. Okay, let's assume that his bracelets are dark color. He will summon dark and light puddles in the arena. The dark colored puddles will expand. Okay, after a short amount of time, the dark puddles will expand and all the puddles will explode. Okay, so to resolve this mechanic, we need to look for a safe color. Okay, in this case, light color. Hug a light color puddle which is far away from a dark colored puddle. Okay, ideally, you will usually be on the edge of the arena near to a safe colored puddle, or between two safe colored puddles, okay, in the small little gap formed between them. Okay, if you are unsure where the safe spots are, follow everyone else. Okay, the alliance will all be moving into the safe spots. If you follow them, generally speaking, it will be quite safe. Okay, and as you do it more and more, you will be able to identify for yourself where these safe spots are. Now, the second way his IDOS manifests is Impact Stream. Now, Impact Stream will split the arena into two halves, light or dark. Simply go to the safe color. Okay, again, let's say dark is his IDOS bracelet color. We will stand on the light half. For this fight, I will call out go to light, or go to dark, go to dark. Just stand on the safe half. Now, healers, do note there's still a small amount, a moderate amount of incoming damage. Please, AoE heal through. Midway through the fight, AV will disappear. Okay, as in he will jump away, and 3 clones will appear on the edge of the arena. Each of them will do an impact stream one after another. So you will need to stand in the middle, step onto the safe half, one after another 3 times. Healers, remember to heal during this period of time. Okay, I highly recommend you rotate your Mega to defensive, which is wind, and use Eureka potions to survive the incoming damage. There will be no DPS being done at this time. Okay, so just remember to rotate your Mega to defensive, rotate to wind, and then just pop some mitigations, use heals and shields, etc. etc. Okay, so this is Impact Stream. Now, the third and most important mechanic is called Turbulent Aether. Now, Turbulent Aether will summon, okay, what happens is 8 players will be tethered with an op and tether. Okay, AFK warning, AFK warning. If you have been AFK for more than 7 to 8 minutes, please just move around slightly so to ensure you don't get auto-kicked. Okay, resuming explanations. Now, Turbulent Aether, 8 random players will be tethered with an op and tether. Now, this op and tether, when the op will slowly move towards the tethered player, if the tethered player contacts or touches the orb, it will explode, damaging and severely injuring them and anyone else around them. The player must kite the orb to ensure that the orb doesn't reach them, and around the edges of the arena there will be 8 puddles of the opposite color. So if let's say there are 5 players with black orbs or dark orbs, there will be 3 players with light orbs. There will be 5 light puddles and 3 dark puddles. Okay, puddles of the opposite color corresponding to the number of tethered players, exactly enough. Okay, so let's say we have 6. Okay, it doesn't matter lah. So let's say you have a dark tethered orb. Okay, the orb and tether is the same color. You need to drag yourself to a light colored puddle, stand in it, wait for the orb to reach you or contact you, but because you're standing in the puddle negates the incoming damage. It must be opposite color. Okay, stand in it, let the orb hit you, orb explodes, you're fine. Go back to the group for shields and heals. Okay, do note, you cannot stack with other players inside these puddles. Everyone has one. You must find your own. Now, in a pinch, if for whatever reason you fail to notice that you have an orb and tether, or you are running to a puddle and then someone steps into it, and then you realize the only other puddle is all the way on the opposite end of the arena. Okay, in a pinch, pull yourself to the edge of the arena, rotate to defensive, pop mitigations, and pray you will survive. Okay, the worst thing to do is to pop the orb in the center where everybody else is at, because again, it's a splash damage AoE. You can hurt or kill everybody else, but you are the person who is supposed to deal with the mechanic. Okay, so players, if you notice a person standing in the center with an orb and tether and they are not moving and the orb is coming close to them, move away from them. Okay, it's okay to touch the orb, it's okay to touch the player, but when the orb touches that player, it explodes. Okay, so other players try to avoid getting PK'd by our other party members or other players here. Sometimes things happen. Okay, they DC, they lag, some other crap happens and they can't do the mechanic. Just try to avoid them, play defensively lah. Okay, but otherwise all the tethered players should be resolving their mechanic. Okay, do note that just before the orb and tether happens, once it goes out, there's always a Medusa Javelin. Now, Medusa Javelin is a large frontal conal AoE. So what happens is, tethers appear, I will say check for tethers, wait, and the moment I see the AoE appear, I will say go. Okay, we will wait for the telegraph to appear so that you can bait it to one of the directions. Then the moment it appears, we run off to our puddles. Okay, this is to ensure that you don't get caught out, all the way at the edge with the telegraph pointed directly at you. There's no way you can survive that. Okay, unless you are a tank or something else. Okay, so just try to wait for the AoE to appear. Then once you hear me say go, you just run off to a puddle, stand in it, pop the orb, and then come back for shields and heals. Okay, this is Turbulent Aether. Now, other things to note for this fight. There'll be ads in this fight. There'll be 2 wyverns. So you'll notice that in the shout chat, yell chat, what we actually done is that we assigned 2 tanks to handle the ads. So what the tanks will do is that the tanks will turn on their stances, rotate to defensive, and then they'll just aggro the ads. All the DPS must focus and burn down the ads before the ads enrage. Okay, ads will cast explosion. If it goes off, it's as bad as it sounds. Kaboom, a lot of people die. So burn the ads down. Do note the ads are thunder aspected. So you need to rotate Magia to earth, burn the ads down, and then rotate the Magia back to ice to burn AV again. Okay, there is some Magia rotation in this fight. Okay, now, burn the ads down. If you have Death L, Swift cast Death L, and it sticks, the ad dies instantly as well. Okay, Death L, MVP. Okay, if you buy Shark brand, very good. Okay, BBD brand, also very good.
No, don't buy that
yeah.
brand.
Bunny brand is like,
Right.
bit sus, a
See,
bit
mine
sus.
will work. Mine will work today also.
We'll see how it goes later lah. We'll see whose Death L sticks onto the ads later on. Okay, but we'll try our best to just burn them down. Okay, now, last thing to note here is Tatamo will be our main tank. So Tatamo is over here. If you can't see the little chicken, I'm going to point her out. Now, she will be the main tank. If you haven't done so already, parties just help to put a sign, okay, a cookie or plus sign or whatever on Tatamo's head. Because when I say tank buster, we need to move away from Tatamo. Okay, and Tatamo, if you hear me say tank buster, try to look around you, see if there's anyone around you, move away from them if you can. Okay, if you can, don't Don't like move away from them and then run into the party and then kill everyone else. Okay, just try best to move away lah. Okay, when tank busters occur, move away from Tatamo so that Tatamo can avoid hitting you lah. Okay, it's a AOE centered around the tank, so just avoid getting. You get hit by that, you just die lah. If you are not a tank. Okay, so this is that's it. Pretty much it for AV. Any questions? Okay, we've got 18 minutes left, so we will do ready checks at this point of time. Okay, if there's questions, just go ahead and ask. If not, then we'll do ready checks. And if there's anyone who's not ready, just let us know. For those who are ready, just again step forward beyond the purple line so that we know that you are here. Okay, just step into the arena so that we know that you are here. Then we will just ready up for the fight itself. Okay, but if there's anyone, yeah, I'll mention this as well. If there's anyone who's not ready, just let us know. Miku is helping to cast bravery for those who need it. And then food check, stance check, Mehagia board rotation check. Okay, and then just get ready lah. I'll do callouts for this fight, so just listen for the callouts. If we stay cool, everything will be fine. Yeah, sorry I sermon so long.
Yeah, that's okay. We used to it.
Okay.
We could always give away your secret.
Hey.
Not really. Shark is not.
So don't no. Shh. Anyway, after today there'll be an actual recording somewhere. I'll see if I'll upload this later on. Okay, anyway, let's focus on the fight first. Okay, if no issues, then we will start at ET. Okay, I'll give it slightly longer for those casting shell, but I'll set it to ET1300 lah. Okay, so ET1300. So 30 ET, which is about 1.5 minutes. Okay, those who need shell, please get it. Those who need bravery, just grab it. Okay, generally speaking, our DPS has been fantastic so far, so I'm not too worried about DPS. But just try to not kill too many players. Don't PK everyone here with the tether and all. Okay, you will notice that this is a recurring pattern. In both AV and Ozma, these fights are slightly tougher because not because the mechanics are difficult, but there's a chance that a single player can fail mechanics and kill other players, which tends to snowball this effect. Once we lose enough players, we fail the DPS check for the wyverns explode, killing more players, and then it sort of snowballs into a wipe. So we try to pay attention to mechanics for these fights. Okay, other than that, just focus up. We'll be starting shortly. Again, limit break 2 at 1258. Okay, range or caster, and limit break 1 at 1259. Okay, Tatamo will be the main tank for this fight. Okay, food up if you haven't done so already. And we'll try our best. We'll just do our best.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, Tatamo, tomato, potato, whatever is the same. Okay, LB2, please fire it off. LB1, please fire off. And Tatamo, establish enmity. Yeah, nice healer LB. Okay, now we will start off with a red white, so just keep everyone alive, heal through. Okay, Meteor is the red white. Now the first idols is dark puddles. Move away from the dark puddles. Okay, the first one he does, this one, is single color only. Subsequent ones will have multi colors. Okay, now come close to AV. He will do a Medusa Javelin, which is a large conal AoE. This is why you want to stay close to AV during this fight. Okay, every time he does this, if you are far away, you won't be able to escape it. Okay, now Impact Stream is next. We are going to dark color. We are going to dark, stay on dark. Okay, again, stay near to AV so you can cross over to the correct side when necessary. Okay, we try to stay near the boss for this fight. Tank Buster on main tank. Okay, more puddles. This time there'll be 2 colors. We are moving away from dark. Okay, usually hugging a light puddle. Okay, this whole entire area here is safe. You can just stay in it. Very nice. RNG favors us for this one.
Poodle jinx.
I know, right? Then later we'll get the bad pattern. Everyone dies. Okay, now more red whites, and we will be seeing turbulent Aether or tethers soon. Okay, now tethers, this is tethers. Get ready, check for your tethers. Check for your tethers. Wait for the javelin. Okay, wait for the javelin and go. Okay, just go to your tethers. Now there will also be a tank buster on the main tank, so try to give the main tank some space. Do not stand near the main tank. Okay, tank buster on main tank. Okay, and then come back for shields and heals. Now red white. Now shortly after this, AV will jump away, and there'll be we cannot target AV, so you want to rotate to defensive after this. Okay, heal through, heal up, and shields. Can rotate to defensive once he goes away. Now we'll be stacking near the middle. There'll be 3 concurrent, one after another impact streams. So rotate to defensive, pop Eureka potions, heal and shields, mitigate through. Now the first one is light. Stay on light. Okay, the next will be dark. Stay on dark. Remember to heal through. And the last one will be light. Okay, now after this, there'll be a proximity AoE. Sprint away from the proximity and come back into the center after AV lands. Okay, he will do a javelin after he lands. Okay, go back in, avoid the javelin. Okay, rotate back to offensive against wind, and finally orientate yourself away from the main tank. There will be a tank buster. Okay, tank buster on main tank. Now shortly after this, we will see Wyvern ads, so get ready for those. Okay, a red wide. Okay, and I think we may be able to commit. Okay, so we'll just commit to killing AV, but just commit lah, just kill it. Nice, and we skip the ads. Okay, very nice, very nice. Grab the treasure coffer at the front. Okay, there's a treasure coffer here. Everyone's crowding around it, so remember to grab it. Remember grab a treasure coffer first, then healers, then go and do your res thing. Okay, someone has rested the dead player. Thank you very much.
Ippo did it.
Thank you. Yes, you want to say something before I continue?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, just do a shout in general if you're gonna res someone.
Try to just yell out.
That we know.
Yeah, so that we don't double up. There's been cases where 2 players sacrifice the same dead player at the same time, and they both die. So it's a bit iffy. Yeah, a bit iffy. So just be careful about that. Okay, now, moving onwards, there'll be 2 trash ads at the top of these stairs. Now these 2 ads, what are they for? Generally speaking, they are used as DPS batteries. So what we do is, like, you have samurai stickers, you have ninja gauge, monk chakras, etc., red mage, black and white mana, so on and so forth. We use these ads to build our gauges. So we will slowly burn them down. If you need to, you use them to build your gauge. But note that they will cast a skill called On the Properties of Darkness, which must be stunned. Okay, as a tank, if I'm here and I'm standing next to them, I will stun. Okay, but don't pre-stun early. Wait for the cast to go off and then you stun. Okay, Tatamo, you can just start by pulling 1 at a time. Okay, do not death L these mobs. Okay, do not death L them. They are meant for us to build gauges. If you just insta kill them, there's no point. I've got it. Nice. Okay, and that's the first one. Okay, and there'll be a second one as well. Okay, now, after this second trash mob is killed, there's going to be a cutscene, so we will pause for a bit. And the largest time waster in BA is after this. Okay, there'll be a cutscene, there'll be a lot of organization to be done, there'll be explanations, etc. Okay, buckle in, it's gonna take a while. Okay, there's a cutscene here. Now, first things first, whatever you do, do not run off the front of the platform. Do not step on the button at the front. Once you do that, you cannot come back up here. Be very careful not to be too hasty and yeet off the front. Okay, and I also get a bit nervous when people jump off too early because early pulls and all that. Okay, now watch the cutscene and for shell protect refreshing, what we usually encourage is the player who is casting shell / protect will be at the rear. Okay, to be honest, we only really need shell, to be honest. But usually because it's a single tray, it has both, we just cast both. Okay, so go to the rear and get your shell protect. Now, normally what we do is we just form a line, we line up, and then get your shell protect from, in this case, Ares is casting it. So just get it from them, say thank you, bow, step out of the line, and then the next person step forward to get their shell and protect. So thank you very much, Ares, for casting shell and protect here. Now, while that's going on, I will begin the explanations. Now, this is going to take a bit of time, so do settle in. Do be mindful not to AFK for 10 minutes. This might take about 10 minutes, so just be careful not to AFK and get AFK kicked. It has happened before. Okay, now, next, welcome to Ozma. This is the final fight in BA itself, and to clear this, you will need to be in the Ozma arena when Ozma dies. Okay, the phrasing is very specific. Okay, you need to clear it and get your achievement for clearing BA. You need to be in the Ozma arena when Ozma dies. Now, you can be dead. However, Ozma periodically during the fight ejects players from BA into Hydatos outside. There's a mechanic called Black Hole which kicks players out from BA and deposits you into Hydatos. If that happens to you, obviously your run is over. You're no longer in BA, you're not fighting with us anymore, you're outside, your run is over. Okay? The problem is that if you are dead, you cannot do the mechanic to keep you in the arena itself. Hence, you need to try to stay alive for as long as you can in the Ozma fight to get the clear. It is not that difficult, but if it does happen, tough luck. Okay, we will try our best to keep you alive, but you still need to do mechanics to ensure your own survival. Now, Ozma. Okay, for those who have gotten your shell and protect at the back, okay, thank you very much. Why is there another line? Oh, okay, the line moved forward, I see. Okay, now, for those who have gotten your shell protect, if you either come slightly closer to the front, or you, okay, but being careful again, do not step on the shiny button at the front, it will propel you onto the Ozma arena. If you open the mini-map as well, you can also see that the Ozma arena is a ring with 3 protuberances on the east, west, and south. Okay, these are actually platforms. Okay, if you come closer to the front, you can actually see the arena itself. It's actually platforms sticking out, one on the east, one on the west, one at the south. And we actually need 3 alliances, 1 for each platform, because Ozma will attack 3 players at once. Okay, and do mechanics for 3 platforms all at once. So we need 3 different groups to handle these mechanics. 1 east, 1 west, 1 south. Now, generally speaking, we will have 1 main tank party on east, west, and south respectively. If there are any more parties beyond 3, there will be sub-tank parties on east, west, or south. Okay, and each of these have different responsibilities. Main tank parties generally keep the main tank alive. They'll be taking heavy hitting auto attacks. Usually, healers need to keep them alive. Okay, sub-tank parties usually will be handling the pain flare mechanic, which happens during the triangle phase of Ozma. And then if there's 7 parties, we have a full complement of 56. Okay, 6 full parties with the support party, which is another party of 8, 7 full parties. The SST, okay, or the support sub-tank party, will usually pick one of the 3 platforms and support that platform. Okay, so this is how we're splitting up. You will notice in the Yell chat, we're actually assigning these, so thank you very much, Kelly. We will be assigning, okay, who's east, who's west. Okay, same thing as before, nothing new. So Hellball 2, 2, 3 south, Hellball 2 tanks, 2 healers, 3 DPS. They'll be south main tank, and their party is handling pin flare as well. Okay, Bella's party 1, 3, 4 east, main tank and pin flare as well. Okay, my party 1, 3, 4 west. Okay, I'm main tank for west. The ST will handle pin flare because my party isn't. Okay, although if let's say my party can, the ST party cannot, then my party will handle it. Okay, Kelly will do all of this in the chat. Okay, thanks very much, Kelly. She will resolve it in the chat. I will continue with explanations. Okay, now next, for Ozma, there are two main mechanics that you need to look out for. Okay, there's a lot of other mechanics obviously, but I will call most of these out during the fight. The main ones, however, are meteors and Excel bombs. Okay, now starting from the most dangerous mechanic, meteors. Now meteors is happens during the triangle and spike ball phase of Ozma, and 2 players per platform will be marked with a massively huge AoE. Now you cannot miss it, it's freaking huge. It covers nearly the entire platform. 2 players will be marked with it, and each of these 2 players must place the meteor at the rear right corner of the platform, or to the left, okay, clockwise to the left on the ring-shaped platform. There is a little button on the ring-shaped platform. You can place one there as well. Now later, once we jump down to the platform itself, all parties will mark out where the meteors are to be placed with waymarks. You will see waymarks to show you where to drop the meteors so that you can place them if you get the meteors. Now meteors, this is a personal mechanic that is assigned to 2 random players on each platform. We cannot determine who gets the meteors because it is random. Hence, everyone who has the meteor mechanic must deal with the mechanic or face wiping the entire platform. Okay, if the person fails to realize they have meteors, or DCs, or for whatever reason doesn't move and place the meteors at the rear and to the left, or to the left, the meteor drops in the center, wiping out everyone on that platform. So one person failing the mechanic can kill everyone else. Hence, I cannot guarantee clears for Ozma because of this. Okay, we will try our best. I'll call out meteors, but you have to notice that you have the meteor and run to place it. Drop DPS, forget about DPS. If you have meteors, prioritize meteors first. Very important. Okay, now do note meteors cannot be stacked. So if one person goes to the rear, the other player goes to the left, you need to adjust. Okay, if you are closer to the rear and the other person is closer to the left, you commit to the rear, the other person commits to the left, and vice versa. Okay, try your best to place the meteors properly. Okay, so these meteors, please try to focus on the meteor mechanic. Okay, meteors wipe like 99% of failed BA runs. Okay, 99.99%. Every time BA fails, usually it's a misplaced meteor wiping the entire platform. Okay, it snowballs into a wipe from there. Okay, so that's meteors. Next, the next mechanic is acceleration bombs. Now, acceleration bombs is occurs during the triangle phase, and what happens is that randomly selected players are marked with a debuff that counts down anywhere between 16 to 24 seconds. Okay, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's a relatively long debuff. It slowly counts down, ticks down. There's a visible icon above your head, and when it hits 5 seconds or less, there's a dice icon. Okay, you might have seen this mechanic in other content as well. Okay, Susano OEX, the Delriada has it. Okay, a few other mechanics, a few other fights has this dice icon. 3 counts down, 3, 2, 1, and then at 1 or less, it's sort of snapshots. All you need to do to resolve Excel bombs or acceleration bombs is to stop any actions. Stop moving, stop attacking or casting. If you are ranged DPS, deselect Ozma or sheath your weapon to stop auto attacks as well. Okay, if you auto attack just as the bomb ticks off, it will explode. Okay, so don't do anything, and it just literally fizzles. It just goes away. Nothing happens. You have resolved Excel bombs. Failure to do so, if you move, cast, or auto attack, Excel bomb detonates, shaving off 90% of your and everyone else's around you HP. Okay, everyone drops to 10% HP. Healers need to quickly spam Cure 3, Sucker, whatever AoE heals to top up everyone to full health, because Excel bomb usually follows a meteor. Okay, after Excel bomb goes off, meteor lands, pump, everyone dies. Okay, so try not to pop Excel bombs pay attention to these two mechanics. Okay, I will tell when there's Exile Bomb, I'll say Exile Bomb, please pay attention. But because the debuff timer is random, right, I can't tell you, okay, Exile Bombs are going to explode, please stop moving. No, I can't do this. You need to pay attention to your own Exile Bombs. Okay, now last few things to mention here. So Meteors, please remember, separate them, one at the back, one at the left. Place the Meteors, come back to your party for heals and shields. Exile Bombs during triangle form. If you have Exile Bomb and you see the dice appear, stop moving, shift your weapon, stop attacking. Okay, just don't do anything. After it fizzles off, you can continue moving. Okay, now do note, sometimes, rarely, there will be situations where you get Exile Bombs and Meteors. Prioritize Meteors first. Do Meteors first. If you have to, you can pop the Exile Bomb, sacrifice yourself, be a martyr. We will try to keep you alive, but if you're not, then we'll erect a statue in your honor. Okay, you save everyone by killing yourself. Okay, but hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay, fingers crossed it doesn't happen. Okay, always do Meteors first, then Exile Bombs next if you have either of these. Okay, now last few things here. Every time Ozma changes into a sphere form, he does Black Hole. Now, Black Hole, what happens is that everybody on the platform in the arena has to be standing in a button. Now, if you look at the arena itself, there is a button in the center of every platform. There's a button to the left on the ring-shaped platform of every platform. So total, all in all, 6 buttons. Okay, remember, always to the left. Always go to the left. No one should be going to the right. Okay, especially for Meteors. If someone goes to the right, then the person on your right dropping the Meteor will have nowhere to place the Meteors. Okay, remember, Meteors cannot be stacked. So there must be space between Meteors. Okay, so always go to the left. So everyone should be on a button, either on the button on the platform or on the button to the left on the ring-shaped platform in the clockwise direction. You must be on a button or you will wipe. Okay, you will get kicked out or ejected. If any of the 6 buttons doesn't have anybody on it, we all wipe. Okay, now because of this, we usually assign range and caster DPS to go to the left onto the clockwise ring-shaped button. Melees, tanks, and healers stay on the platform itself using the nearer button. But in a pinch, go to the nearest button. Okay, don't realize, oh, I should have gone to the left and then start running like 3 seconds after I say Black Hole. Okay, you will get sucked out. Stay on the button if you don't have time. But usually we will assign range because they don't lose uptime. As they run over to the left, range will go to the left. But we need to ensure all 6 buttons are accounted for. Okay, so this is Black Hole. Now, dead players cannot do this mechanic. If you are dead but you're on the button, you will still get sucked out. Okay, you will still get kicked out. So try your best to stay alive. Now, for this fight, sometimes players will res you mid-fight. So stay alert. Okay, we have had cases where people die, give up, and they just, I've died, GG. And then they just stop paying attention, and then a healer kindly reses them midway through the fight, just before Black Hole goes off. Okay, it occurs every 2 minutes. And then because they're not moving, they fail to step on the button and they just get sucked out, and the healer dies afterwards, wasting the healer's sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice in vain. So please focus for this fight. Now, for whatever reason, if you do get sucked out and kicked out, don't AFK, do not leave, not don't AFK, don't leave the party. In our 8-man parties here, we get access to LB3, which may be used if necessary. If you leave the party still fighting loses an LB meter. So try, don't leave the party. Okay? Wait for us to finish the fight. Whether we clear or not is irrelevant, but at least give the players who are still fighting a fighting chance. Okay, and that's pretty much it for Ozma Black Hole. Now, the last few things to mention here before we ready check and get going is there are 2 knockbacks in this fight. Now, the Ozma platform, if you fall off it, you will die. So please be very careful later when jumping off. There's 2 knockback mechanics in this fight. The first is called Shooting Star. Now, Shooting Star is a radial knockback pattern coming out from the center of each platform, pushing you to the front or, okay, basically pushing you away from the center of the button on the platform. Align or arrange yourself to be knocked either to the front or to the rear. I will call this out. I'll say Shooting Star or knockback. Get knocked to the front, get knocked to the front, or get knocked to the back, get knocked to the back. Okay, just position yourself to be knocked back. Try not to be knocked to the sides because there's smaller space there. You can actually fall off. Okay, so this is shooting star. Now the last one is called holy. Now during the square form, Ozma does a small little pushback coming out from the center, pushing you away from Ozma. To nullify this entirely, never ever stand at the very edge of the rear of the platform under any circumstance. Okay, just don't be at the very edge of the rear of the platform, short of having to place the meteor there. Okay, but meteors don't come out during the square form, so it never overlaps. Okay, I will call this out as well. I will say, get off the platform, stay closer to the front. It just means get off the platform, but closer to the ring or the inside edge of the platform. Okay, do not be confused. Last time, sometimes I said, get off the platform, go closer to the front, people run back onto the platform to the front of the platform, which is wrong. Okay, stay off the platform, but closer to the front because there's a small little knockback. Okay, so this is it for all the Ozma mechanics. We'll be doing ready checks now, so do a ready check. Okay, we're down to 30 minutes, so a bit close on time, but the Ozma fight is 10 minutes, 30 seconds long, so we need to get started soon. Okay, but I don't think we'll see all the mechanics. Or should I say, we won't see the enrich. Okay, with good DPS, we should kill it in about 3 or 4 cycles. Okay, now, we are proceeding down. Do not target Ozma. Do not target Ozma. If someone early pulls or early hits Ozma, the fight starts immediately and people start dying instantly. Okay, because Ozma attacks 3 players at once. Go to your platforms, follow your party carefully, not falling off. Do not fall off. Ozma is thunder aspected. Rotate to the correct Mega. There is no Mega rotation in this fight. It is just stay on the correct element, you'll be there for the entire fight. Okay, now once you're on your platforms, do ready checks as well. Okay, once all the sites are in position and ready, I will call a pull time and we can get started. Okay, now do your last minute checks. Okay, make sure Spirit Auto Remember is up. You have food, use food. Okay, it probably would have dropped off already. Use another food. Tanks, main tank stances on. Okay, and then rotate your Mega to the correct element. Okay, 12 minutes is just about enough lah. Just about nice. Just about nice enough. So yeah, we should be okay lah. Okay, and then we will start. Kelly, is everything okay? Are we all good?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
I already did ready.
Oh, okay. Then we'll start at ET 21450 lah. Okay, 2150, 30 ET, 1 minute 30 seconds from now. Okay, usually I give a slightly longer ET for Ozma because some players want to do things like Dell shenanigans and focus 16 charging, and they need a bit of wind up time. Okay, but ET 2150. Same thing as before. Caster, LB2 at 2148, LB1 at 2149. Now range, caster or melee LB. Now for Ozma's case, you can actually melee LB the boss, but you must be careful. Okay, BBD's pro tip number 69. Do not touch the ball. Do not touch Proto Ozma's hitbox. He will immediately aggro. So if you want to melee LB, just wait closer to the start time, go close to him, and then melee LB his round circular face. He has none. Okay, the other thing here to mention before we start, if the music is making you nervous, okay, BBD's pro tip number 67, if the music is making you nervous, you can just turn it off. Okay, /BGM space 0 to turn off the background music. Okay, it tends to make people a bit anxious, especially if it's their first time here. Okay, I always remember my first time when I was doing Ozma, my hands were shaking so hard, couldn't really focus. Okay, but no, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we are gonna start soon. Okay, LB2.
Yes. Good luck.
LB1. Okay, and main tanks will establish. Okay, now we will start off with Ozma attacking all the 3 tanks with heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks at the start. Okay, keep the main tanks topped up and alive. Okay, the tanks will establish enmity and hold tank aggro. Now the first mechanic will be spike ball, which is to go to the rear. So everyone go to the rear now. Go to the rear now. Okay, and staying stacked together, move forwards as a group. Okay, move forwards together as a group. The spike ball form does a split damage auto attack that must be shared. Okay, if you eat it by yourself, you just die. You got one-shotted. Now there'll be a knockback soon. Get positioned to be knocked back to the front. Okay, get positioned to be knocked back to the front. Now arm's length and surecast also works here. Okay, and then continue to stay stacked. Now there will be black hole number 1 soon. So range and casters, you can help by running to the left of the platform. Everybody else be on a button, any button. Okay, all 6 buttons must be accounted for, and you yourself must be on one of the 6 buttons. Now once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button, okay, and continue to DPS. Okay, we are back to heavy hitting auto attacks on the main tanks. Shades have appeared at the rear. Get off the platform, get off the platform. Main tanks get off last. Pew. Then main tanks go back in first. Okay, the reason for this is because the auto attacks will still hit players on the platform. If the main tank gets off, someone else takes the auto attack and dies. More shades soon. Okay, shades have appeared at the rear. Now there'll be 2 mechanics in this pattern or movement. Go to the rear, and then afterwards go to the front. Go to the front now. Okay, go to the front, stack closely, tightly to the front. Main tanks will bait the line AoEs away from the party and pop the orbs. Now try to not hit your main tanks with the stack marker, and then there's a small little knockback, and then main tanks continue to bait line AoEs away from the party. Okay, now for whatever reason, if you died, your spirit has procced. Use another Spirit of the Remembered and continue calmly. Okay, do note, if you fall off the platform, you will respawn on the south platform. Try to go back to your correct platform given the opportunity. Now, shades have appeared at the rear. Staying stacked, get off the platform, get off the platform. Small incoming knockback, be careful. Okay, and then go back into the platform. Okay, and black hole 2 soon. Okay, black hole number 2, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Now the main tanks will be taking heavy hitting auto attacks once again. Keep the main tanks alive. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Shades at the rear. Stay to the front, stay to the front. Main Ozma. Go to the rear afterwards. Go to the rear now. Now staying stacked, move forwards together as a group. Split damage auto attacks again. There will be meteors. Meteors, get ready. Meteors, go. Okay, help to place the meteors, 1 at the rear, 1 to the left. Can come back after you've placed the meteors. Come back after you've placed the meteors. There's a knockback. Wait for the meteors to land and knock to the front. Get knocked to the front. Now, tanks pull the adds towards the party. Everyone else just AoE the adds down. Okay, and continue to stay stacked. Okay, these adds need to be burned down or they will kill other players. Now, shades at the rear. This one, get knocked to the rear. Get knocked to the rear. Wait for the donut. Wait for the donut. And go back as a group to the front. Okay, black hole 3 soon. Okay, black hole number 3, everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Main tanks are taking heavy hitting auto attacks once again. Keep the main tanks alive. Okay, once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Shades at the rear. Go to the rear, go to the rear. Main Ozma. Get off the button, get off the platform after this. Get off the platform now. Now, triangle form, meteors and acceleration bombs. Get ready. Accel bombs will have gone out. Check for accel bombs. Meteors, get ready. Okay, meteors, go, adjust if you need to. place the meteors and come back to your party for shields and heals. Okay, and burn the ads. Okay, I see a misplaced meteor is okay. Try to recover. Okay, bait pain for pain baiters. Bait the pain. Shades at the rear. Stay closer to the front. Stay closer to the front. Now, Excel Bomb players, please check for Excel Bombs and stop moving. Excel Bomb is going to go off. Okay, just be careful. Heal through. Heal through. Stay stacked. Okay, and continue to bait pain. Okay, now get ready for black holes soon. Okay, those who want to LB, go to the button and then LB. Okay, but be on a button. Be on a button. This is the last. Okay, and after this we will commit to kill. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, a few mishaps there. It wasn't the smoothest run. I'll be the first to admit it wasn't the smoothest run.
Yeah, so funny.
There was a couple of mishaps there, but this is a learning run. It's a learning run, so this is to be expected. Don't worry about it. I think there was like a misplaced meteor on the east platform, and then the west platform there was like an Excel bomb went out and killing everyone. But it's fine. Okay, now don't leave yet if you have cleared. For those who have cleared, there will be a treasure coffer at the south platform. Please go over and grab it. If you have cleared for the first time, you need to jump off the platform as a rite of initiation, okay, rite of passage. Jump off, eat yourself to the center of the big hole here. Okay, we throw the tomato into the hole, and all popotos and chickens go with them into the hole. Okay, as tomato has just demonstrated. Then that's pretty much it for the entirety of BA. Congrats for those who have cleared. Now the treasure, okay, a few things to mention here before we wrap up. The treasure coffer, please remember to open it. There's a big treasure coffer at the south platform. Okay, those who want to take screenshots, please do so at the south platform. We'll be facing away from the exit towards the outer edge. Okay, you want to G-pose, take pictures, screenshots, please do so at the south platform. Okay, everyone else try to stand around nicely. So that Kelly can or whoever else can take a G-pose screenshot. Now, the treasure coffer itself. Okay, now if there's any dead players, just sound off lah. Okay, now usually at the end of the fight, we can sacrifice or res dead players freely because there's a cheat method to raise players after the fight has concluded. Now the treasure coffer itself, it will give you an orchestron roll. Okay, a Damascene cloth, a seal. Now this seal and cloth, what you're supposed to do with it is that you're supposed to find a friend who hasn't done BA before. Okay, this seal and cloth you can use to exchange for the body piece lah. So the idea is that you find a friend, you sell it to them, tell them, hey, I cleared BA, it was fun and fantastic, and I've got this seal and cloth. Okay, I'll sell it to you. You buy it off me and come and join me or join us for BA next time. And then they will come for their clear, they'll get their clear, they'll get their cloth and seal, and they'll sell it to their friend, and then in this way we just get more people to do BA and all get rich in the process. Okay, so this is what we call the BA pyramid scheme, but just don't tell everyone. And then the other thing is that once you're finished, okay, your achievements, the mount, the shiny ball mount is found in the achievements menu. You need to actually exit the Hydatos instance. However, for first time clearers, there's a continuation or conclusion to your quest. You need to use the exit portal at the back here to go and finish up your quest, so that you can end up conclude the storyline. There's a continuation of it. You need to use the exit portal here to wrap it up. Okay, so that's it for our practice run. Okay, congrats for those who cleared. Now for those who didn't clear, didn't manage to come in, or just for some reason or other couldn't clear with us today. Okay, don't fret. The Materia BA addicts are actually doing more BA runs than we are doing on my homeworld of Elemental. So you are welcome to join them in their runs. Okay, generally they will, I think they do it like 2 or 3 times a week. Some of them are nuts, they do it like more than 3 times. So look out for their announcements in our Discord. Okay, they'll usually announce a time when the BA is going to be run. You just show up, form a party, apply what you have learned today for the learning run, and then just try again. Just try to come for more clears. Okay, for those who've cleared and you want more clears, you can do more BA, get more fragments, buy your Hurricane gear. Okay, those who didn't clear can try again for their first clears with the Materia BA Addicts. They host runs very, very regularly. Okay, other than that, that's it from me. Okay, thanks and appreciation goes out to all the helpers. Okay, Kelly for being the org here. Okay, helping us sort out the organization. Okay, some of the Tatamo for main tank. Okay, thanks very much. You are now certified main tank for Ozma. Okay, and you can now just main tank everything lah. All the BA is now for you to main tank. So just throw Tatamo to be main tank for everything from now on. Thanks. And then all the other veterans here as well. Okay, these guys, they are just here to help us with the BA. They don't actually really need more BA, but you know, they are here to help us out. So thanks very much, the veteran BA addicts.
Amato, I heard you can main tank anything. Can you main tank for us in UCOP? Thank you.
Oh.
Okay,
Imagine having UCOP unlocked.
Wait, you don't have UCOP unlocked? Oh my god.
Why not?
Just
Why would
carry,
what do you mean?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have UCOP unlocked either, but you know.
We're talking about ultimate.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine having that unlocked. Imagine not being a casual gamer.
I know, right? Okay lah. So I think that's it from me. Thanks for coming, guys. That concludes our session for today. I will try to run these like periodically, but really the Materia guys are doing a fantastic job. So feel free to just join them for their runs. Okay, I think like people like Typhon, Kako, Korewa, they all host runs regularly. Lolly's gone missing recently though. I need to go and like poke him a little bit, see whether he's gonna do more. But yeah, just look out for the runs lah. Nick and Nif as well. So yeah, all the regular BA addicts they'll be hosting runs regularly. Just feel free to join. Okay, there's no restrictions on this. Just be nice, be friendly, be prepared. You know, just follow along and then just have fun. Just join them for fun and games. Yeah, they'll do like if you're new, you just okay. Technically speaking, you all have cleared. Most of you have gone through it today, but any of your friends are new, just let them know that they are new, and then they are more than happy to explain and do callouts for the newer players as well. Okay, we want to just encourage more players to do BA because you know it's fun. We have a community going here. Make friends along the way. You know, the real treasure are the friends we made along the way. Except the popotos, those are for dinner, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, DRS also. Yeah. Okay lah. That's it from me. Thanks for coming, guys. Anything? If you have questions about anything with regards to BA, okay, I know this is a relatively lengthy run, but a lot of things I don't have time to explain because it was drag out the run. So feel free to ask questions in our Eureka Lounge or Eureka Questions channel on our Discord. Okay, the link down in the description below, and then yeah, any question just ask there. There's a lot of veterans there from both Elemental and Materia because knowledge is universal, so anyone can help answer your questions. And then just ask there, you know, things like what should I bring for my next run? I want to be healer. What should I bring? What's my loadout? You know, I want to be tank. I want to be main tank. You know, Korra so cool when Korra ASMR run, etc. etc. Just ask there, and then we'll try to answer you and assist you as best as we can. Okay, if not, then that's it for today. I'll see you guys. It's like dinner time for most of you, and for myself as well. Typhon, you need to like advertise the bounty on Korra's head. Then just put like maybe like 1 million for everyone who kills Korra. Then you can like get more people. Oh, there's not BA. Yeah. Oh my god, you guys. Okay. Dinner time.
Okay.
Thanks everyone. I'll see you guys around. Bye bye now. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for organizing.
Welcome. See you around.
Congratulations.
Next BA. Next BA.
Thanks, Shark.
Oh, Eden was like, who's gonna call next BA?
Wasn't it you, BBD?
Oh no, you're throwing Eden under the bus.
Yes.
The one in that responsibility has a very long name. Okay, that's the hint. The one that digs the dig screenshot has a very long name. That's why the Sophia appear all the way at the end. Okay, see you next BA. Bye.
Alright, see you guys. Bye bye. I go for dinner.
Bye.